Afternoon, everyone. How are we all? Hope you're okay. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to 1 second live watch along for the Nations race. Thought I might as well. Just finished watching the F1, so we're just going to chill out and watch this together and have some fun. Let me know what the audio, how loud, quiet. I'm going to unmute it now, so just let me know if it's a bit too loud, a bit too quiet. You can't hear me, or, you know, just let me know when I put it on now. Might be a bit loud, I don't know, or might be a bit quiet. Just let me get it sorted before this actually starts. Loud and clear. So, is the in-game audio about right versus mine? Right, okay, 1 minute. About now, any better or a bit louder still?
27 laps of action begins now. 9 positions he's gained in this race. He's now leading.
We don't want it too loud. We want, obviously, I want to be able to talk to you lot, so it's got to be like a balance. I've just cleaned my PC out while watching the F1 as well. I got me I ordered myself a little where is it? It's still charging, but I ordered myself a little PC cleaner, like a little. It blows out that end and hoovers that end. So I gave my PC a good clean. I'm going to give the PS5 a good clean after as well, but I need to put it back on charge. Basically, it's like a mini hairdryer. That's literally what it is. The mini hairdryer. But there. Yeah, it should be interesting. I watched the Toyota race. I didn't watch manufacturer because why did I not watch manufacturer? Oh yeah, I was in the gym, wasn't I? I was in the gym for manufacturer. So and then we watched we watched Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, and played some Uno and some what was the other? We played another game as well. I can't remember what it's called though. Is it? Can't remember. Oh, it's here. Friends Don't Lie. Friends Don't Lie. Played that one. That's quite good as well. Played that last night. Had a bit of a chill last night, chat. Yeah. By the way, I don't know if any mods saw that person that came in at the start. Anything like that, just time them out. If they keep doing it, just remove them. Just a bit of an immature comment to make, really. Some strange people out there. So yeah, I don't know if any mods saw that comment at the start. If anything like that, just time them out straight away, and if they want to carry it on, you know, give them a couple of warnings. If they carry it on, just remove them. It's very easy. Yeah, it was just someone being a bit of a donkey, like the usual basically. I don't know why they feel the need to come into your stream. The fact that he must be subscribed says it makes it even worse. I didn't watch the manufacturers. I didn't watch that. So yeah, I only watched the Toyota. The Toyota. I thought that was a bit weird. Like they didn't explain things very well yesterday in that Toyota. They said that intermediates and wets weren't allowed. So the commentator said that intermediates and wets were not allowed, yet you had people going on intermediates. Like, they need to make things more clear to the viewers, because for people watching at home, no idea what's going on. Like, I thought you've got to allow intermediates. Like, I thought they weren't allowing them, and I was like, that's ridiculous if you're not allowing them. But they were allowing them, but the commentators obviously didn't know that. So yeah, it was just. I still don't agree with having compulsory tyres if it rains. I think it's just a bit daft, really. But I think Consta got caught out of that at Suzuka, didn't he, the other year?
Hello and welcome to the Gran Turismo World Series, coming to you live from Amsterdam. We're here in the My First GT section. pretty busy. Everyone's having a really nice time, plus also obviously enjoying some of the most beautiful cars in the entire world. I've been trying to steal the keys. They have very cleverly kept them away from me. Obviously, today is the very, very last event of our 2024
Should be
season,
interesting,
the
this.
Nations Cup. Obviously, we're a little bit sad, but very, very excited to bring you some of
Who's
the
everyone's
best
money
sim
on for
races
this
in the
one then,
world,
chap?
battling
Who
it
do you
out
think is going to
for
take it?
national pride.
I don't think it, like, Tom doesn't play the game, but nor does I mean, Jimmy doesn't really play the game, does he? Let's be honest, he doesn't really. I think what would benefit the commentary of this would be Mikhail Zhao being in the commentary booth with them to try and, like, you know, like Martin Brundle in F1 always like knows the info and he can like correct stuff. Someone like that, like Mikhail Zhao, knows the score with the game, just to give information to the commentators. I think it'd be a good move. Yeah, I put Killian down. I went with Killian. Should be I think Killian's got the pace. He just needs to keep it together, doesn't he? Yeah, Steve said, like, I still think someone like Mikhail Zhao, though, that understands, like, Mikhail Zhao understands everything. He understands, like, down to fuel saving, tire wear, strategy, you know, what drivers are good. Yeah, Mikhail Zhao's probably the most knowledgeable person to use, in my opinion, for the commentary. That's who I would go for the extra bit of detail. Steve obviously knows a bit, but he doesn't know the level that Mikhail Zhao knows. Mikhail Zhao, you know, he knows everything to do with the braking, the tyre wear, what cars are exactly good and what aren't.
For the Gran Turismo World Series World Finals in 2024, Nations Cup action to come.
Should be a good one, this, I think.
I'm delighted to be joined on the sofa, not only by Jimmy Broadbent, but also by Kaushik Subramanian, the Sony AI researcher, and also Nations Cup competitor and former winner, Angel Inestrosa. Give a round of applause for these two.
Is the final at Nordschleife, chap? If the final's at Nordschleife, it's going to be a very hard track to overtake.
Project that we first saw back in 2022 in the Gran Turismo World Series, and ever since then,
yeah, we picked Josetti, didn't we? Pio, by the way, Pio, who got scored today? If you were there, hiding.
AI. We've seen it obviously in GT7 as of late, and how have you developed this project over the last couple of years?
Yeah, I mean, exhibitions like this are a perfect chance for us to kind of push the boundaries of what we can do with the research for Gran Turismo Sophie, and every day in the lab, we're trying to figure out how we can engage players like everybody here and worldwide to try to make sure that they have a fun experience with an AI agent in the game, and every day we're trying to push those boundaries.
And as we said, it's always constantly been evolving. And actually here, this weekend in Amsterdam, we had a new concept for our Gran Turismo players. Race Together 2024. We got 12 of our Nations Cup competitors, including the man that's sitting alongside us, Angel Inestrosa. Angel, this was a bit of a new experience for you, I want to say as a driver, but it's not really as a driver because you're sort of a team manager and engineer at this point, weren't you?
Miyazano.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it was quite fun, actually, and really interesting.
A mac and cheese pit
stop. When I changed the
15,000 yen. I have no idea what that means, Podium.
The effect of it.
Thank you very much for the $5, Podium.
And,
Can we get a big thumbs up and a legend shout out there for Podium? Thank you very much for the support, legend. I'm sorry, I haven't done anyone. My elbow needed a mac and cheese pit stop.
Yeah, you have to think about it, and you have to manage that through the entire race.
Yeah, Mahata couldn't get visa, I think.
The other competitors, so yeah.
Now, Kaushik,
right, no worries, Podium.
Over the top of Sophie's head there. Tell us a bit about those.
We've all been there.
Like they're maybe struggling to.
Some of us are still there now.
Half the time. I mean, tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So right now, as you can see on the screen, the player now has options to control the AI. So they have actions where they can choose the pace of the AI, or they can choose how aggressive the AI is, and of course they also can choose.
So
when they want to
is
take a
this
pit stop.
basically
Influences those
B-spec
emoticons that are there in the game? And so right now, it's the player sort of watching how the AI performs and choosing the controls in a way that
this looks like B-spec basically.
That they would expect. And now for the first time, we're actually giving the player to control sort of the racing strategy of Gran Turismo Sofia. We've never done that before. This is the first time.
I remember commentating on the first Race Together event that we had back in 2022, and obviously it's developed leaps and bounds since then. So what are we likely to see with Sophie AI in the future?
So in fact, for us, you know, things like this, where it's a wonderful research exploration, where we do things that we have not done before, and we're hoping that as we get more and more feedback from all the players here, we're able to sort of, you know, give players better experiences over the course of the game.
So Angel, I mean, you did pretty well in this race. In fact, you actually come away as the victor in the end. I mean, did you really have a strategy, or were you just sort of trying to guess what was going on as you were going through this?
No, as I said before, you have to pay attention to the emoticons that
That'd be, do you know what?
And,
if they could make that an online game mode, it could be quite entertaining for a laugh. You know, just to have a laugh with your friends, like an online game mode where you race with like the drivers.
What do you do for that? Was there a special button for that?
Yeah. No, it's full intentional. No, I'm kidding.
I wouldn't want to see the emoticon after that.
Yeah, Gary.
No, it really is wonderful. So how do you use the feedback from the players here with GT at the World Series, Kaushik, to develop the AI?
Yeah, so for us, what we're going to do is we're going to take this feedback here and we're trying to see, all right, there are things that obviously went well. There are some things in terms of how the car responds. And importantly, we want the players to sort of have a response that's intuitive to them. If they change something, they should sort of be able to
I wonder
sort of
if they're using
what is gonna
this
happen. And the more we do that,
to
the
try
more
and
engaging it's
learn
gonna
the
be to
AI
players, and they're gonna be
where
more
to pit and
involved.
when to
ideally,
pit.
they
You know,
can
like
predict
from
what's
the
gonna
World
happen. They
Tour
can use
drivers
this as
to
a way test
understand
different kinds of
when,
strategies in long races that
like
we
what
might not be able
strategies to
do
do, and
without
that
this
might
AI.
be a part of
Well,
learning the
Kaushik,
strategies for the next game,
thank you
so they
very
can
much
actually
for joining us here. We really
do
appreciate it.
proper
We cannot
strategies
wait to
rather than
see
just
what
no pit
Sophie
stops.
is going to bring us in the future. We're
Hey, Pio,
very much
who got
looking
scored
forward
today,
to
mate?
Lots of action to
Thank
come,
you.
as we said, tonight in the Nations
Russell
Cup.
got
Let's get
scored,
straight
mate.
into that as well, because we've got a bit of a different format in terms of qualifying. So going into qualifying today, we ended up out in the brand new Hyundai Ioniq 5N. Now this essentially was to
Who
determine
cares?
which order the drivers would
Hey, he
pick
got
their
scored
cars
today from the back of the
for
grid,
race
mate.
one. And as you can see, we're at the Nürburgring shorter layout here, and it was a bit of a mixed bag for some drivers.
Yeah, of course, tracks there having a 0.5-second track limit penalty. Super easy to get around here. Angel Stroza, who you just saw on our little couch of us there, setting the early pace. A unique challenge here in this Ioniq 5N, of course. Hyundai having a big heritage at the Nürburgring and showing the car being very, very well suited to this circuit. Sasaki there also using all the circuit and a little bit more on exit. Well, how
So is this the first qualifier?
Setting the early pace.
Let's have a little look who's setting the pace here.
For Sasaki, as we said, this is the order in which the drivers are to pick their car. So if you finish top of the pile, you get first pick, and so on and so forth.
Gallo surely sets a good lap.
We wonder whether he might be able to top
P2.
Sasaki, but it was just half a tenth away.
I mean, it's not that bad.
Position. You can
Chill
see
out.
that the Italian driver. Yeah, exactly, he really did. Jose Serrano,
Oof.
meanwhile, through the chicane, a big
Oh.
old slide on, properly spectacular to watch, but unfortunately not that quick. It was a bit of a time loss for him in that final sector, and as such, the Spaniard was not able to set a lap time that was representative of the pace that we're used to seeing from the previous Nations Cup champion at
got
certain points of
P1.
that sector, but he did eventually go top of the pile, as it turns out, at the end of that. So here are the qualifying time trial results. So Serrano then takes pole by just under a tenth of a second from Sasaki. Gallo alongside on the front second of the group brothers, should say, with Tremont alongside. Then Inestroza, Miyazono, Guy Barbara, Kai De Bruyne, Coco Lopez, Robbie Heck, and Callum Roach in 10th and 11th. And then Adriano Carrazza had his lap time disallowed, as we know, due to exceeding.
So Killian
track
P4.
limits.
Oh God, Killian, do not fail me and not get through to the final.
Wonderful. Well, not only joined on the couch by Jimmy Broadbent, we're now joined on the couch by Jules Hardy as well. Jules, who we got alongside us here?
Oh, well, we have Jiha Chang from Hyundai, obviously, you know, maker of that beautiful, it's sexy car, right? Come on.
They like it.
Yeah,
That's good
important.
approval.
I think it's very important to get live feedback about cars. One of the first questions I think everyone has about the N
That's
series
how you
is,
drive
why is
an
it N?
EV.
Well, that's maybe my question.
Yeah, N is Hyundai's sub-brand of a high-performance brand. So as you can see, the N stands for the Namyang. Namyang is our R&D center in Korea. And all the car is born in there. And also the next N meaning is Nürburgring. So all the cars are born in there. So born in Namyang and born in Nürburgring. This is what means the N. And also the symbol means the chicane corner. So you can see the fast driver always fast in the corner. So all our cars
No, I
are
didn't hear
developed
about
for
that,
the
Fernand.
fast corners.
Yeah, and obviously you've got a very long history with Gran Turismo. Tell us a bit more about that.
Okay, so we launched our Hyundai M brand, the high-performance brand, 10 years ago in the 2015 Frankfurt Motor Show. So we first showed our Hyundai N 2025 Vision Gran Turismo car you can see on the stage. So
quite interesting that looks a little bit like the current Le Mans cars, isn't it? It's got kind of a look of it.
Years, we showed a lot of various cars to the world, and we participated in all motorsports like the WRC and also the Touring Car Champion. So
you're not going to get away with that podium, mate.
Championship for over 10 years now.
And I have to say, it's not many cars that I've actually driven on track, but I've
it's
driven
snowing today,
track
Christopher. It's
on
not
a
even
car,
that windy
and
anymore. Wow, it's still
super
windy here,
fun.
but
I don't know if the person in the car with me.
I
had a
mean,
super
you could
fun
play
time.
football in that. We played football as kids in more wind than that. Now it's much lower
This
wind.
is a very new car, but our car is told that this is another new standard for setting the high performance EV. So this is a fun car. So many people think EV is really boring to drive.
You can threaten, but it might be me podium because we're talking
and you will
about.
see this is really something new for the future.
Are you excited for everyone to get their hands on it in GT7?
Okay, so this
High
is
and
one
low
of the fun
places.
part. Like I'm really excited to wait for more than a year.
Yeah, it's windy today, but it's not
this car in
like
the game.
cancel
I see
football
the
windy
game and I
out
play the
there now.
game.
It's a bit. I think that's a bit. I think that's a bit drastic. That
And then
cancelling
we're
the
also-
football
I mean,
today
we're not
now.
gonna fish
Like
for questions, but then obviously
I
next
was
year
out
will
in
be
it
10
before.
years, right?
It's
So
windy,
I
but it's
guess
not
we can
like
maybe
it's not
expect
terrible.
something special? Question mark.
Okay, so we have a lot of plans to work
Yeah,
together with the
Patrick.
Gran Turismo about the new future, and also we're going to show the best car, the fun car to all car enthusiasts, not only the car enthusiasts, but also all the gamers who love cars. So we'll keep working together with Gran Turismo, and hopefully in the future you'll love our product and also you'll enjoy our moment. Okay.
Definitely, I'm sure. Yeah, let's give a big round of applause there. Beautiful. I love the colour is also one of my favourite things. It's such a great colour.
Thank you.
And I think we're going to have a look at the car selections now, Tom.
Yeah, we certainly are. We've got to get into Nations Cup action, which took place, of course, earlier on today. Many thanks to Jihad Jang from Hyundai. Great to have you, Jihad. Thank you so much for joining us here. And very much looking forward to Nations Cup action here tonight as well. This is the car selection. So as we saw with the qualifying session with Hyundai a few moments ago, we now know which order the drivers are going to be selected their cars in. So, as we know, Jose Serrano quickest in that session. So he got first pick of the bunch, and the Mercedes AMG GT Black Series is his weapon of choice. We've got modified road cars here for race one, Jimmy, and there is a lot of things at stake. And this is how the grid was decided, interestingly as well, not the usual qualifying session.
Yeah, this is super unique. You guys might know the license test from, of course, at home with GT. Basically, it was a shootout average of the license test. Look at Miyazaki setting the early pace on this Monza test in the Ferrari, coming across the start-finish line to go quickest of the bunch.
That's a bit weird. One sector.
First round, but there's
A
still
sector.
4 more tests to go. The average of each time being used to set the pole position.
And these are addictive, right? Because you basically spent the entire
I don't
weekend
like that.
just trying to
Do a
beat
proper
the
lap.
world
Don't
record.
do this. This isn't. This is a bit gimmicky. Just my opinion, though, Jack. Just my opinion. This is gimmicky. It should be a lap time.
22B. I'm not sure we could do that again if we tried. Actually,
It's spectacular to watch, isn't it? He was just absolutely full send in this session, but amazingly didn't end up fastest. That was kind of ruined by just a couple of tenths of a second. The Dutchman on home soil, of course, here in Amsterdam.
For me, you do a lap over it. For qualifying, it's a lap of a track, not different sectors from different tracks. I don't know. I'm not a fan of that. But maybe I'm just old. Maybe it's because I'm old.
Porsche GT3 at the Lago GT4, or that came in, I should say, the Lago Maggiore circuit. This is Valerio Gallo, fictional Italian track. We're looking at the real-life Italian driver making his way through these corners. And you know, it's easy enough putting one lap together, or hard enough putting one lap together, I should say. It's even harder when you've got to do it over various different tracks in various different cars all at the same time.
and incredibly easier, as Kylian Dumont found out, to pick up a penalty if you get the track limits wrong. If you do that, you lose yourself an absolute ton of time. You see there, Kylian there losing more standings as the average goes on. Miyazaki very, very strong throughout all of this as we go into, I think, what was Miyazaki's best performance. Look at this, sliding a BMW M2 in the wet around Suzuka, just flirting with the edge of the circuit. And this is where we get to see the proper skills of our Nations Cup drivers.
Yeah, he was dancing the car through this spoon curve. You can see the advantages that some drivers are getting. Serrano got a good exit out of there as well as he tried to make some progress. Miyazaki, though, came to the timing line and set the quickest time in that session. And you can see what it means then for the standings as well. So Lopez actually making a bit more of an advantage over Kyderbrunn. So he'll manage to leapfrog him after the 4th session. So that's the provisional grid at the moment, but still one more session to go. The final challenge for our drivers, the Lexus LFA here at the Fuji Speedway circuit. The V10 screaming away around this track. And I think it's all about basically the exit out of the final corner. And Takuma Miyazono got an absolute blinder while Sasaki picked up a penalty.
Yes, basically hard brake for Sasaki. He did that as well in the practice session. So just not really getting to grips with this LFA at the Fuji Speedway. Miyazono really at this point, all he needed to do was have a decent run. Didn't need to win this one, but Jose Serrano and Coque Lopez, the Spanish drivers who had such a good day yesterday, showing their pace on this road car layout at Fuji. There's just a drag race to the line as Miyazono crosses to go third fastest, in that one with Serrano and Lopez winning it. But that was enough for Takuma Miyazono to have first pick of cars going into the First Nations Cup round.
Yep, so this is how the grid will look then going into that first race as we look at the final permutations. You can see right at the end there, Serrano clipping Kyderbrunn. Drummond also moving over a place at the expense of Angel Inestrosa. And don't forget about the Predict the Winner campaign we've got going on in the GT World Finals here in the Nations Cup. This is what the current votes have come in at. Takuma Miyazono with 38% of the share. Former champion there as well with Valerio Gallo and also Jose Serrano, Coque Lopez. The only man who isn't a champion in that top 5 is Killian Drummond. A possibility for him to try and turn that around.
I think Killian, I hope Killian can do something this time. Because Killian's always been one of the quickest on the game. I kind of want him to get a win here. But I think it's going to be hard. I don't think we'll see if he's qualified P4 in the first race, hasn't he?
I mean, did you get any pointers from watching that? Do you think you can take the world record now, Jimmy?
I just don't think I'm very good, Jules. That's what I learned from
Sorry to bring it up now in front of a bunch of people. Now, obviously, this is the final time they get to prove themselves. So I feel like we might do a little bit of a refresher to see what's on this season.
Hello, welcome back to the Gran Turismo World Series.
Nations Cup back to its original format, single driver now.
It's pretty much everyone for themselves.
You've got to be so clean and so precise in this race. It's the smallest mistake. It comes back to bite you.
2024, the 7th year of the Gran Turismo World Series, kicked off right here in Canada.
No new track,
the best sim races in the world landed in Montreal for what was always going to be a hotly contested season of racing.
Trying to take advantage, trying to get his move done on the inside of Roach. Oh, this is getting very scrappy indeed. Serrano's going to be wide to that, goes to the defensive line, tries to park it on the outside. Miyazono goes for the outside line. Side by side they go, down into the chicane, and Miyazono leads!
And then we came to the Czech Republic, where round 2 had a few more
Yeah,
surprises
Renzo.
up its sleeve.
We have 8 cars right now squabbling for the lead. This ain't gonna end well.
This is fantastic, isn't it? Into the final corner. Here comes Drummond.
I wonder if they're using that same slipstream from that. Remember how gimmicky that slipstream was? Because we did that race as a GT World Series race, and the slipstream was a bit too strong, wasn't it? I wonder if they're going to use that one for the Nordschleife race, because if they do, it'll be so close.
More intense. Every single point was critical.
How much time? I mean, to qualify for one of these races, it's not all about time, it's about talent. It's not just about time, it's about actual talent to be able to do it. Like, to be as fast as like the likes of Killian and Josetti who qualified, you've just got to be quick, as well as obviously putting time in. But I don't know, I don't really know how much they practice. They probably practice quite a lot to qualify out the regionals, because that's where the hardest part is, qualifying in the regionals. That's really hard, but they're probably practicing quite a few hours a day, I would think. But they're just quick. That's why they can qualify. It's not just practice.
So then it all comes down to this. Let's introduce you
to be honest, Gary, a lot of it is just like, look at Mikhail's out. Like, he doesn't practice much, and he's still just as quick as the top drivers in this. A lot of it is just pure talent. They've just got the ability.
And he's a GT World Series veteran.
Yeah, they're not allowed to use the pad, Alex. They have to use the wheel. It's a part of the World Finals, mate. They're not allowed to use the controllers.
Displaying the Chilean flag as he walks onto the stage, the 5 times GT World Series winner. Next up, from the United States of America, please give it your all for Callum Roach. 19 years
you need
old is
both.
Callum
You need
first in the
practice
North
and you
American
need the
region this
ability.
year. Let's see whether we can convert it to a strong result tonight. Next up, from Australia, 28-year-old Guy Barbara. Guy qualified first in the Oceania region in 2024. He'll be hoping to put a strong result together tonight, maybe even
Exclamation
a
mark, PO. You're right,
Next up,
Edward.
our second American, Robbie Heck from the United States of the America. 25 years old is Robbie. He's adapted his driving style to be a little bit more technical over the course of 2024, apparently. Next up, from Japan, give it your all for Takuma Sasaki. 20 years old is Takuma, second in the Asia region in the online qualifiers, known as Takuan. See what Sasaki is able to do this year. And next up, the hometown hero, Kai De Bruyne. "19 years old is Kai, almost won the World Series second round in Prague earlier this year. Next up, Coque Lopez from Spain. 25 years old is Coque, part of the team that won the Nations Cup World Championship in 2023. Team Spain, of course.
Mate.
And next up, another former Nations Cup champion. Give it your all for Italy's Valerio Gallo. 24 years old is Valerio. Won the Nations Cup title back in 2021. Another former champion as well. Japan's Takuma Miyazono makes his way onto the stage. The 24-year-old won the opening round of the season. He finished on the podium in round 3 in Tokyo as well. Can he put a strong result together here tonight? Next up, it's Spain's Jose Serrano. Jose, 22 years old, also part of the Spanish team that won the Nations Cup Championship in 2023. And last but not least, give it your all for France's Kylian Drumont. 21 years old is Kylian, 2022 Nations Cup, Manufacturers Cup champion, I should say, rather, and the current points leader as well. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please stand if you're able for the national anthem of our host
A lot of
nation
these
here
were
in
18,
the
like
Netherlands.
Lopez and that was on very young when they first started. I used to be I used at one stage we were quicker than Josetti, not anymore. Yeah, I remember Interlagos outpacing Josetti in Group 1 at Interlagos and pulling away from him and maintaining a 2-second gap. That was one of our best drives, that, to be honest. we won't ever replicate that.
The national anthem of the Netherlands plays out here in Amsterdam, the host city and indeed nation of the World Finals for the Gran Turismo World Series. Very much looking forward to action beginning here in the Nations Cup tonight as we get ready to crown our world champions. But if you have missed it so far in 2024, let's remind you of the competition format that's taken place over the course of this year.
I hope Killian doesn't get like a bit of bad luck here, because Killian's starting P4 in a very risky position.
From the 2024 online qualifiers. They've raced against each other in rounds.
I hope they change this for next year. This whole structure was awful.
All 12 drivers will fight for points across 3 races. The top 10 drivers in each race will score points. The results from race 1 determine the grid order of race 2. Race 2 results determine the grid order for the grand final, where all top 10 drivers will earn double points. These points are then added to the results for the last 3 World Series rounds to decide the final standing. And then the top driver will be crowned the Nations Cup World Champion.
So that is the competition format that we've had over 2024. Let's have another look at the points standings coming into the final weekend of the season in the Nations Cup. Because it is mightily close at the top. Killian Drew got 11 points, but he is just 1 point ahead of 3 drivers. Valerio Gallo, Takuma Miyazono, and Jose Serrano all tied on points there for second, JB.
Yeah, that is kind of ridiculous, isn't it, if you think about it? I mean, we have such a vast array of talent here as part of our Nations Cup.
This is going to be...
A driver here can win this, of course, double points on offer throughout the entirety.
It is an extremely
major shake-up is on the cards if we see maybe one of the top riders have a bad
It's going to be extremely competitive,
absolutely.
isn't it?
It's going to be crucial to get every point. We know that we've been saying that and banging that drum over the course of this year, but now really does come down to it, especially the fact that you've got points on offer for the races, double points or quadruple points effectively, really, compared to what we've had over the course of this year for the last race as well. Let's have a look though at the details for this first one then. So the Trial Mountain Circuit, an old favourite.
Is this in the
in production cars?
This is Daily Race A, isn't it?
The car selections.
This is Daily Race A with the gimmicky slipstream.
It's going to be interesting because you'd think, oh, they don't look that hard to handle. Yeah, but we've whacked a bit of more power in them.
I presume this is this week's Daily Race A chat with the really strong slip, and they'll have that.
Tokyo with that amazing street race back
there. This could get messy.
Emulating that here today. 10-lap race with no fuel consumption, no tyre wear rate, nothing like that. So it's just basically a straight fist fight. Yes, fist fight with very fast-tuned JDM cars. What's better than that?
Absolutely, yeah. There's lots and lots of action to come. Before we get this race underway, though, let's head down to Jules. She's catching up with Gran Turismo series producer Kazunori Yamauchi.
Yes, please give a huge round of applause to Yamauchi-san. Yes. We just wanted to have a quick little conversation before we kick off the Nations Cup because it is a very, very special year this year. 2 massive things are happening. First of all,
my tea isn't.
Talk about my first Gran Turismo.
Just going to go and get me
Please
dinner.
Tell us everything about
One
it.
second. You carry on watching.
まずはマイファースト GT についてちょっとお話ししていただけますか。すごく楽しそうなタイトルですけど。
はい、マイファースト GT、マイファーストグランツリスモは、グランツリスモ7って今ものすごく巨大で複雑なタイトルになっちゃったんですよね。それはそれでとてもいいことなんですけれども、一方で、最初のグランツリスモにあったような、誰でも車の楽しさが分かるっていう、そういうタイトルをね作ってみたかったんですね。それが一つ。あともう一つは、今回マイファーストグランツリスモって画面のデザインも文字が全部大きかったりしてすごく見やすくなってるんですね。でそれって、お子さんだったりお年寄りだったりあるいは目の不自由な方でもグランツリスモを遊んでいただけるように、そういうタイトルを作りました。
Yeah, so for my first Gran Turismo, one of the reasons why we created it was because Gran Turismo 7 has become such a huge, complex title, and that in itself is a good thing. But at the same time, we wanted to make something that anyone could just pick up and enjoy and just really discover the fun of cars. The other aspect of it is that, my first Gran Turismo, if you look at the screens, the font is much bigger, it's easier to read. So it's, for the kids, the elderly, the people, some people that may have some visual impairments, they'll have a lot easier time, playing the game because of that's how it was designed.
And also, I like that we're going to have some, fresh blood to the Gran Turismo family. In a few years, we'll have some brand new faces, hopefully.
これを通して新しい顔がグランツリスモのファミリーに今後入ってくれたら嬉しいですね。
そうですね。なので、グランツリスモは今後も作り続けますけれども、マイファーストグランツリスモもね、今後も一定のタイミングでリリースしていけたらいいなと思ってます。
Yeah, so of course, we're going to keep working on the Gran Turismo series from here on as well. But at the same time, we want to continue releasing My First GT every once in a while with updates in the future as well.
Super cool. So, I mean, we could talk about just this, but we have such little time. We also need to talk about the 30th anniversary, obviously, of PlayStation. I can't think of PlayStation without thinking of Gran Turismo. You've been around since the very beginning. So it's an important time for you as well.
そうです。プレイステーションの30周年記念でもありますけど、プレイステーションってグランツリスモなしでは語れないと思います。本当に今は重要な時期というか、記念すべき時期ですよね。
そうですね、プレイステーションが生まれてちょうど30年、3分の1世紀経ったわけですけれども、グランツーリスモの開発チームって最初のグランツーリスモから、変わっていないんですね、人は増えているけれども、だから相変わらず、グランツーリスモ1を作ったファミリーが今でもグランツーリスモを作っていて、しかも、このワールドシリーズをはじめとしてそのファミリーがねどんどん大きくなっている、それがすごくねグランツーリスモにとっては特別なことかなと思います。
Yeah, so it's been 30 years since the first PlayStation. It's a third of a century, really. And what's incredible is that all during that time, ever since the first Gran Turismo, the development team that made that first Gran Turismo is still with us today and still working on the new titles that are coming out. Of course, we've increased our numbers. There's more of us, working on it now. But I think it's incredible that that first family is still with us today and is still growing. And through activities like this World Series, we hope that we have more people, join the family, in the future.
Can't beat a Sunday roast.
We could talk about this all the time. I think these guys just want to get the race going. But Yamauchi-san, would you like to pump up the crowd and get them ready for the Nations Cup? You can do my job.
私の仕事をちょっとやってもらいたいんですけど、観客の皆さんをちょっと盛り上げていただけますか。
はい、皆さんこんにちは。いや本当に皆さんがね貴重な時間をかけて
Chicken, roasties, cauliflower, broccoli, pigs in blankets, peas, stuffing, Yorkshire puddings, carrots, and some cranberry sauce. Thank you very much.
お父さんもグランツーリスモファンで、お子さんもグランツーリスモファンでっていうね、そういうご家族でいらっしゃってる方もたくさんいて、すごく僕らは嬉しいです。
And it's been 25 years, or actually 27 now, since we first started. And
you want to see me
we're
dinner?
Seeing now fathers that are here with their kids, who are all the GT fans, and it makes me so happy to see that.
はい、で、素晴らしい選手たち、ドライバーたちが集まっているので、すごいレースが見られると思いますので、ぜひ皆さん楽しんでいってください。
Yeah, and we have a set of incredible drivers here with us tonight. You're going to see some incredible racing, so please enjoy yourselves.
Okay,
thank you.
Starting. Let's give a big round of applause.
Yamauchi-san, here is the grid then lined up, ready to go for the first race of the evening in the Gran Turismo World Series in the Nations Cup. Miyazono will start this one on pole position with Gallo alongside on the front row. This is a sprint race and of course will not only decide the grid for the next race, but it will give them points in this one as well. 12 points to be scored in total in this race, right down to 1 point for 10th position. And you can see there the live points rankings as they sit for now. Kylian Drumont is the points leader, Jose Serrano in second, Takuma Miyazono in third. Three drivers separated by just 1 point for second as well. Jimmy, looking forward to this.
Yeah, Drumont didn't have the best qualifying session earlier on, of course, which is why he's down there in 8th position.
Yeah, Sunday though, Raccoon. Always have Sunday dinner. Always you have around this time.
All can change.
To be honest, it's a bit late. A lot of people have it around lunchtime.
Then as we get ready to get this one underway, there are the competitors in the bottom left of your screen. Nations Cup action at the Gran Turismo World Finals for this race is about to begin. What will happen as the 12 drivers come across the line?
All right, let's go. Chat, watch the slipstream on this. I predict this is going to be chaos because I predict the slipstream is going to be really, really strong. Let's see what it's like.
And frightening first couple of corners as they're pretty blind. We don't really hit the anchors until a couple of corners later. And given the fact that the field is quite spread out due to the rolling start, don't expect any moves in the first couple of corners, but especially as we get onto that long back straight and head in towards the hairpin at the end of it, that's where I'm sure we'll see the drivers making their first overtakes for position.
Ricardo leading, NSX leading, F40, Miyazono, Gallo and Lopez breaking away from the front of the pack, also going with them.
Just make it yourself, Pio.
We're about to get to our first big straight here, our first big slipstreaming opportunity. Who's got the power? Let's find out. Miyazono leads. We go into the dark, into the tunnel for the first time here. Awesome to see all these cars out on track together. Gallo there, deep in the slipstream, big speed in the background. When he go for a move though, down towards the left hand, he does.
Roasting is not complicated. It's quite easy to be honest.
Straight line speed of the NSX, and up into the lead goes Valerio Gallo. Miyazono does try and come back at him,
The slipstreams, though. Look at the strength of the slip.
In the background too, but then also having to vie for position with the AMG driver. So this is getting already pretty feisty.
Yeah, pretty feisty in the back as well. And Stroza and Barbara have come together, and there's an investigation going on for that incident. But pretty calm up in front, but for those couple of overtakes. Down through into the final sector we go. You can already see a bit of daylight beginning to build between Gallo and Miyazono. Lopez and Serrano are going to have to be a bit careful here. They don't get involved in squabbling for position for third place, because if they do, they will be set to lose a fair bit of time, and it might be difficult for them to make up that deficit as the race progresses on. Meanwhile, the end of the first lap, Gallo, it is at least. Lopez picks up a penalty then for track limits, presumably there. Half a second penalty for him. That will drop him behind Serrano when he serves it, and crucially, will it drop him behind the likes of De Bruyne, maybe into the clutches of Carrazza for 5th or indeed 6th place. Lopez also a little bit wide at that first corner. That leaves him under pressure here from Serrano, and the Spaniard in 4th place rather, can't take this line down. He's got to make every opportunity count while he can. Up the inside as we go through into the left-hander, into the tunnel. Serrano up and through into 3rd place. Runs in a little bit deep, but Lopez won't have any chance of retaliation into the next right-hander.
Yeah, you can see these guys squabbling and sort of brought Kai De Bruyne back into the
They've cost themselves if they lose that slip and the top two don't fight, the top two will love this.
Recovery so far, but what an awesome lineup of cars. I always say this when we use these cars. It's so nice to see all these guys, all these cars on the circuit together. This is what Gran Turismo for me is all about right now. Valerio Gallo leading the way in that NSX down on the straights. That looks like a rocket down the straights, Tom. That thing.
Yeah, it's pretty handy in a straight line, isn't it, that Honda NSX? So that's good news for him. Meanwhile, behind you see Serrano and Lopez. Oh, Serrano very sideways. There must have been contact going into that left-hander, because Serrano was fishtailing all over the shop going through there. Lopez still sitting in 4th place, and he's got that half-second penalty to serve, as we know, this time around. Drummond, meanwhile, has managed to escalate himself up a few places into 5th from 8th on the grid, and Sasaki likewise up from 10th into 7th position as well. There's a right gaggle of cars here. Oh, Jimmy, there's an R32 Nissan GTR. You might recognise that.
The best car in the field, I think, mate, honestly. So Kai De Bruyne, of course, a man with taste as he chases Kylian Drummond, and also another very cool car, the Mark IV Supra. So Supra versus Skyline. We're on board now with the
Lopez is going to possibly lose to Kylian with that. I would think Kylian will get in with that, will he? Let's see. Will he? Or will the slip save? Now, the slip might save him. He didn't really lose much, did he? Half a second.
With the racing hard compounder tyres, but they're definitely not racing cars. They don't have the same sort of agility as our Group 3 or Group 4 machines. So it's all power, and really just try and figure it out when you get to the corner.
Yeah, you can see Drummond there having a good run here on Coque Lopez coming through this first sector. I thought he might have a dive to the inside there, but Lopez defending that line quite nicely. Drummond tried to switch back and go for the sweeping line to gather more momentum as he came through the next series of corners. We'll find out if he's able to do so when we come through into this next left.
They're not allowed to bump draft, yeah, they're not allowed.
It's going to be absolutely critical. Slightly tighter line and a later apex there for Drummond as he tries to carry the speed through that corner, but the legs on that Ferrari look pretty handy in a straight line as we go through the tunnel, burst briefly into the daylight, then into the darkness. Your eyes playing havoc with you as you adjust and you come back into the daylight, and we head into the braking zone of the next corner. Meanwhile, up in front, Serrano and Lopez are pretty close for company there as well. Sorry, Miyazono, I should say, and Serrano for 2nd place. Serrano's managed to drop Lopez courtesy of the penalty for the Spaniard, and now Jose Serrano, 1/3 of the Nations Cup winners last year, right on the back of the 2020 champion.
Valerio Gallo sort of bolting away, though. Nearly a second between him and this man, Takuma Miyazono, and Jose Serrano just behind. I mean, these 3 drivers, the talent they share between them is insane. So fast in
the top 2, well, the top 3 have pulled away now. They've gone.
Trying to navigate his way through this tight and twisty part of the circuit, the last chicane. This is where these cars struggle the most, and then here's a bit like the best, the big straight.
You have to.
So great to see Honda.
There's a delay, obviously, because we're live, remember, to the actual live event.
Oh, it's mega, isn't it? And also,
because
as well, you've got front engine, rear wheel drive.
We're like 8 seconds further behind because of YouTube latency, so it should be like 5 to 8 seconds.
Miyazono has got Serrano all over him like a bad rash. He's now got him underneath him as he goes through into the tunnel and into the left-hander. Serrano into 2nd place, and now his next target will be race leader Valerio Gallo, who's some 1.5 seconds up the road.
He didn't put up too much of a fight there, did Miyazono? zone. I think he just understood that, yeah, I've maybe fluffed this corner a bit. I'm just going to just open the steering, let Serrano through and chase for now. Let's see if we can catch Valerio Gallo. Behind these guys, by the way, is that man, Coque Lopez. He is just about fending off Kylian Drummond and Kai de Bruin in the Supra and Skyline combination. As we go into the tunnel once more, there is Coque Lopez in the Ferrari F40. Of course, all these cars you've just joined us tuned to over 1,000 horsepower, which means speeds of 350 km.
It says live on there.
This big braking zone down the bottom. Use the
Literally says live.
to get the car around. Here's a replay. We're on board with Sasaki lower down the field. We go into the chicane. There's Coque Lopez going wide. There's a car on our inside as well. I think that was Kai de Bruin. As we come back across, is there contact? No, they're just about all avoided, but Sasaki loses the place. There goes Kai de Bruin. Did he get past Kylian?
No, I'm not believing Pio.
Into fifth goes Kai de Bruin.
Yeah, lovely bit of driving there for the Dutchman then. Just lost out to De Bruin on that last lap. They must have made another mistake, unfortunately, there for the Dutchman, but good overtaking nonetheless. And that just goes to show how the seas can part when you're racing in such close quarters. So just a reminder, this race, 12 points on offer for the victor. Kylian Drummond was the man who was leading the points. If the checkered flag fell now, according to our points standings,
right, yeah.
down to fourth, Gallo would inherit the lead of the championship by 2 points going into race 2. But there's still plenty of time left to run and plenty of time for the complexion of this one to change as we head.
It looks like Miazano just trying to stay in the slip to Josetti. That's why he's letting through, because the Mercedes is quick by the looks of it.
The Spec 2 Neo, which goes for 40 billion trillion pounds nowadays. don't ever look for how much that car costs nowadays.
Oh, Sasaki, look at that. That's a lunge on the inside of De Bruin going through into the left-hander. I didn't think he was going to make that stick. De Bruin ran a little bit wide. He manages to live to fight another day, but that's a warning sign there, isn't it, for the Dutchman?
Like the traction there of the four-wheel drive from the R32 just pulled him out of that a little bit. But yeah, as you say, Sasaki looking all over the back of Kai de Bruin as we come now into this left-hand. Just seems to have a bit more cornering speed, a bit more able to rotate that car with that mid-engine layout, the rear engine layout the Porsche is famous for. But you see down the straights, Kai's gone. Yeah, the four-wheel drive really helping out Kai de Bruin.
Don't know about that, Steve, because Pio says it makes it look worse. Pio's got it, and he said it looks worse.
Long straight such as this. Sasaki
with PSSR on.
Clearly, the Japanese driver knows that his strength is in the twisty bits, in the corners, and that's where De Bruin in the R32 Skyline is beginning to struggle. Drummond, meanwhile, up the road, now on the back of Coque Lopez, looking to try and find his way past. No, you're not having a fever dream. You have got a Ferrari F40 and a Toyota Supra battling for position here in this race, down through into the left-hander, and surely it's only a matter of time before Drummond starts to attack here.
Yeah, this Supra is pretty much everyone's perspective of what every Supra is. Like 1,000 horsepower.
Yeah, but doesn't it look better with the PSSR off though, Pio, on the Pro? On the Pro, turning PSSR off looks better.
Let off there and let Lopez keep the position, because you can't bump and run there.
Shouldn't make a difference on this display, really. Pio's got a very good display, so I don't think it'll make much of a difference.
First part of the acceleration zone, it's only towards the end of the straight does the Supra come back towards it again. So we're really seeing some strengths and weaknesses of these different cars. Of course, the cars all picked by the drivers after their sector qualifying earlier on.
Yeah, VR looks better, although it's got a few issues. VR is one of the best things with it, but it does look like it's got issues though, from what I've seen.
Be a brave man if he can stick it through, and he does. Kylian Drummond makes a late lunge there on Coque Lopez. The door was only slightly ajar, but Drummond elbowed his way past, and I'm in the fourth place.
Didn't invite him, did he? He's like, all right, okay, there it is, off I go. So Drummond now in that Supra.
I'm not worried by it, to be honest. I'm not even.
That's the question. Was he being held up by?
I think from what I've seen, watching it live, you can't tell any difference. Like, these are all on pros now. Can't tell any difference from last time. So I think for me, I'm going to just wait for PS6 now. I don't see enough of a benefit personally.
Between these two drivers, and Gallo just chops him off there. Says, no, you know what? No more. I'm taking the line. And I have to say right now, Serrano looks a little bit more racy than Gallo does. Looks like he has the pace at the moment.
Yeah, just looking at the pace last time around, Serrano 45.7, Gallo 46.2. I know, of course, Serrano would have had the advantage of the slipstream down that long back straight, but still, that's a good pace difference between the two. Serrano fastest overall in the first sector this time around, despite being behind Gallo. Gallo runs a bit deep into the penultimate turn. That's a warning sign there. He'll live to fight another day. Can park it on the apex.
I think the Mercedes is OP here. That's why he picked that. Josetti had first pick a car, hence why he picked the Mercedes.
Come across the line then to start lap 7 at Trial Mountain. Just a reminder, of course, 12 points on offer here in this race, and it could be set to change the championship order.
What Serrano there going for the drift entry. I'm not sure he meant to do that. I think he panicked a little bit there. It's so funny seeing Gallo come through there all just sorted out and gripped up, and Serrano just all sideways, but kept the car in one place, but definitely lost a bit of time doing that, but putting on a good show for our Dutch audience here. Through the first sector again. 7 laps down, 10 of 10 and 3 remaining.
See how ginger they're having to be on the power going through there as well, just trying to get the power down, aren't they? They've got a lot of performance, these cars, 1,000 horsepower, but the stopping power, by comparison, it's like the brakes are made out of old biscuit barrels at this point, because they just don't want to slow down when they get to a corner.
I mean, to be fair to most cars, stopping from 350 kph isn't the easiest thing in the world, as we're about to see that now. 360 kph I saw there. From Serrano, and he almost, as Tom says, misses his braking, almost touches the back of Valerio Gallo there, and you can see there he's just hardly able to control this V8 under the hood of this AMG here. Now in the background, Miazona is starting to slowly come back into the picture, but Serrano is definitely the fastest of these first 3, but he just can't find a way by Gallo at the moment.
See the live points rankings, and Gallo, if the checkered flag fell now, would be the winner going into the second race of the evening. 3 races to
surprised that
in the nation's
Josetti can't get the slipstream off him. They must be running slightly lower slipstream. Either that or the cars are more powerful, so they're a little bit less of an advantage by the time they get to the end of the straight.
Out of the final corner we go, across the timing line then to start lap 8 out of 10 here at Trial Mountain. On board we ride here with Jose Serrano. There's some good battles going on further down as well. Sasaki and Lopez pretty close on track for 5th place. Karatza not far behind Kaida Brun for 7th position as well. Coming over the crest of the hill through into that.
See Josetti.
Serrano a bit more composed this time through there.
When he first started showing really good race pace was when it was in a road car. Josetti was always very good in road cars. Like, if you remember, I remember racing, was it the Atom on GT Sport? Like, he was always quick, but he was never like, well, tour level quick. But then some of the road car races, Josetti started to really show his pace. So he's always been really good in these road cars.
It's like driving a spoon through treacle, isn't it? They're just so smooth through those corners, so ginger on the power, so careful on the brakes and on the steering as well. They've just got to try to not upset the balance of the car and keep it as neutral as possible. Here's the
not the Atom, what's it? The KTM, chat, not the Atom. The KTM. Is it the KTM Expo? I think it was the KTM Expo.
Next time around to try and
he was always insane in that car.
He was close enough that time to have a go, but apparently not. Maybe a bad exit, or just thinking better of it. Looking back now from the
that reminds me.
Honda NSX driven by
they should definitely add the Atom to the. Do you remember the Atom off Drive Club? That car was amazing.
His belt, very, very talented driver from Italy, and pretty much these events don't feel the same if he's
should add it to this.
As we go down to the chicane. Come on to lap 9 very shortly.
Here it is.
2 laps to go for Valerio Gallo and his first
the
win.
KTMs are literally road legal.
I've got to say, I love this Honda NSX as well. It is so nice to see it out racing here in Gran Turismo.
So is the back mono. Back mono's road legal.
When we were in Tokyo earlier this year, and I could almost have jumped for joy. It's just such a spectacle to behold.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, great to see all these cars out in circuit. Of course, someone, 2 seconds, got a replay. Here's Sasaki and Koke Lopez.
Is it road legal, Pio? Is it road legal?
It goes a little bit wide. Sasaki just managed to sneak underneath there in that GT3 RS. Off he goes up into 5th place, and Koke Lopez will be frustrated with that one.
Yeah, not brilliant for Lopez, dropping down 3 places from where he started. Not ideal at all. It all sort of began really with the penalty that he picked up in the opening stages, and ever since then, it's just gone from bad to worse for him, really. The upshot is he'll be scoring fewer points in this race. If he finishes 6th, he'll get 5 on the board, but also, as well, it will mean it will compromise his starting position for the second race, because, of course, that reflects the order of race 1 here.
Much better exit this time from Jose Serrano. A little bit of wheel spin from Valerio Gallo in front. We're deep in the toe. This will be the Spaniard's best chance at a move on Valerio Gallo. Gallo goes defensive to the inside. Serrano's going to be forced to go the long way around the outside. There's no camber out there. Really hard to keep the car in the corner. Gallo keeps it down low, keeps it tight. Serrano tries to drift around the outside, but can't quite make it work. And now Gallo knows exactly what to expect come on the last lap, but Serrano ever a threat in the mirrors.
This is
Oh,
going to be
he's
so
doing.
close on this.
Do you reckon he's going to get him, chap?
It's bubbling up quite nicely. Will it boil
I think he
over,
wants to get
though?
close enough for this this tight chicane. Into this corner now. Yeah, look, he's going for the run. He's going to go for it here, is he? Oh no, the acceleration. The NSX has got really good acceleration.
Down into the final chicane we go. Gallo it is that leads from Serrano. This is for pole position and of course for maximum points in the championship as well. Out of the final corner we go. Gallo it is that leads Serrano. I don't think the Spaniard will attack towards turn right, not unless he's a brave man. But we know he is a brave man. Surely he's not going to think about it making it stick. No, he lifts off, decides to wait for the right opportunity as this lap unfolds.
Yeah, I mean, he knows it.
He has to do it.
There, but I mean,
He has to do it on the straight because that NSX will go straight back in, past him on the long straight, won't it?
Goes for a dive into the tunnel. Gallo sees it late, just about runs the speed around the outside there. Still holds the inside line. Serrano still second for now, but Gallo he's fully aware of the Spaniard just buzzing around in his mirrors. One small mistake and Serrano's going to be there.
Serrano needs the run of his life through these next couple of corners as Robbie Heck picks up a warning for colliding with another car through this left-hander. It is all about the exit. Serrano's pretty close to Valerio Gallo. He'll have the advantage of the slipstream, and he is closer than he was before. This is going to be the opportunity.
Here it goes.
Looking for to go for the race lead. Gallo knows
Bake him.
goes defensive, but I'm sure it's not going to be in vain as Serrano pulls alongside the Italian. Side by side we go as we burst into the daylight, into the braking zone. Gallo's got the inside line in the car.
No, he won't be able to go around the outside, will he?
No. Manages to hold on to the lead as we come through. Serrano still there on the outside, but has to set up a second best as we come now down into the final couple of corners. This is absolutely spectacular here at Trial Mountain, and Gallo, all he has to do is park his car in the right place to not allow an opportunity for the Spaniard to find his way through the left-hander we go.
Oh, he's got nice, too far. Can he lunge it?
Unless it's a lunge from Serrano, it won't be because Gallo parks his car on the inside. Serrano will try and get the switch back through into the next right-hander, but he's not going to be close enough.
Oh, he messed up the exit. He messed the exit up. Good drive by Gallo and Josetti.
From Jose Serrano in second, and Takuma Miyazono will come home in third place as well. Absolutely fantastic. What a clean, fair battle out on track, and it is Valerio Gallo who takes 12 points in the opening race of the evening.
Yeah, I mean, if that race is anything
Good drive
to go
by them
by,
both there. Very good drive.
Awesome rest of the evening. Those guys were going at it for about half the race there. Clean, respectful. Gallo just about coming out on top there. But the speed of Jose Serrano, we know how fast Giuseppe is. And he's definitely one to watch out for.
Fantastic job from Valerio Gallo. As I said, parked his car in exactly the right place there to depose Jose Serrano, deny him that chance of victory. Great race also from Takuma Miyazono. It's a bit of a quiet affair, really, but I think you'll be happy enough with that. Second row start for the second race will certainly be nothing to cry about.
Yeah, and Kylian Drummond, good recovery from him. After that, it was a bit of a sketchy race qualifying for Drummond, but he came back well to score some much-needed points. Takuma Miyazono was the man who initially led, but we saw Valerio Gallo using that toe, using that NSX straight line to get by pretty much straight away, and from then it sort of went from bad to worse for Miyazono, very quickly losing a place to Serrano too.
Yeah,
good race that.
Actually, unbeknownst to us, as we were focusing on the battle at the front, was Takuma Sasaki. He made up 6 places at the checkered flag. This was Drummond versus Lopez going side by side on lap 6. The Frenchman getting himself up through into 4th position. He would eventually come across the timing line in 5th place at the checkered flag, with Sasaki having made his way past. This was a
radiator not on.
For the race
I don't. This radiator is permanently off, chap.
Down into that hairpin. The Spaniard trying to hold it around the outside through there, but the camber on the inside of the corner really helping Valerio Gallo get that car
always off. Don't need heating in this room
on the exit of the corner,
because the monitors, the PS5 and the PC literally heat this room up massively.
Just seemed to have an answer for, as you say, Tom, that corner at the bottom there. What about getting in the camber? And this was about the closest that Serrano got. You see, again, trying to just drift around the outside, could not make it work. Gallo just putting his car exactly in the right place.
Good battle,
at the right
that.
time. I thought this might have been it here. Serrano spied a gap on the inside in the first sector, but again, Gallo had an answer. How about this battle?
Amazing, down into that final hairpin on the
No, he's not won yet, Jackson. He's not won yet, mate.
I wonder whether Serrano might get just a little bit more traction to stick a nose through on the inside into the next couple of corners, but nothing doing for him. Gallo takes 12 points and also the championship lead heading into race 2. Let's head down to Jules to catch up with the Italian.
Amazing race, man. Amazing.
but that was really stressful for me, and I wasn't driving. How was that for you,
Yeah,
Valeria? That was
even if he
super
wins,
intense.
right there. Yeah, he could still win overall if he doesn't win, depending on who actually wins. It's obviously points, isn't it?
With the car, personally, because the NSX was, of course, my choice of heart. And yeah, I mean, I love the car, and it was very fast in the straights. I was able to defend easily and attack as well. I attacked Miyazono at the very beginning, and I tried to escape, but then also Jose was also pretty fast, and he caught me up. And yeah, I mean, sorry.
No, you're okay. Take a breath. I don't know how you're
I mean, it was really intense, and Jose really is on track, and I think he's also one of the favorites to win the World Finals, honestly.
I mean, I don't know, how did you keep your cool? Because that was, you know, he made some moves and you brilliantly defended, but it was pretty relentless.
Yeah, I know, it's experience. I think it's experience and
I voted Killian for this.
The chillness, I would say.
Yeah, okay,
keeping it chill.
Hopefully he can do something in the final race.
Okay, just be chill, everybody. Just be cool, okay? And then it's all fine. Well, look, congratulations. Go get yourself set up, and we'll go back to you, Tom and Jimmy. Give them a round of applause.
Thanks, Jules. Let's take a look at the results from race 1. Valerio Gallo it is that takes top honours, 0.2 of a second in front of Jose Serrano. 12 points in the bag for the Italian, and of course the championship lead ahead of race 2 as well. Then 2 Japanese drivers, Takuma Miyazono ahead of Takuma Sasaki, who was brilliant in that one. A really quiet, clean race for him. He got up inside the top 4 and just missed out on a podium.
Don't think so now. They used to.
But here are the all-important points rankings.
Braga used to do it, but he's not in it. Braga's not in this now.
See, it's all mixed everything up now. Of course, Gallo now leading from Serrano, Miyazono and Drummond, who was leading going into this, now in 4th place. But as you see, 2 races still yet to run, still time for other competitors to come back into it. Sasaki, of course, very impressive there. Kaiser Bruin also in with a chance of victory here as well. Just needs a good 2 races.
Ankel and Strohs will be very disappointed with that. Finished down in 11th place and outside of the points. We'll be unpacking all of the drama that is to come later on here tonight with our press conference. That'll be coming along the way straight after we have finished things here for the Nations Cup. So get involved. Let us know your questions. Ask them in the chat. We'll compile them all together. Not us specifically. Somebody else will compile them all together for us. And we'll be asking them in the press conference, which we're very much looking forward to. I want to know what you want to ask our competitors.
We think it's going to be the X 2019 for DDC next week. We're not 100% sure yet.
Of course, we've not only got racing here tonight, we've got campaigns going on in GT7 as well. Have a look at this. See what we've got on offer for you this weekend, because it's your chance to win some great prizes on GT7.
Dive into the action from inside Gran Turismo 7 with the World Series bonus campaign. Click the Predict the Winners campaign banner on the GT7 world map for the chance to win 1 million
because that's what this race is, Bahamas. Their races at Norse Life in the X 2019. So we think they're replicating it. And then you also have the time trial there that ends on Thursday to try and maybe warm people up. It might not be it, but that's what I reckon it might be.
Your GT7 game to unlock free in-game rewards. Catch the Nations Cup World Final and you'll unlock the new Ioniq 5N car when the January patch arrives. Don't miss your chance. Tune in and claim your new ride. This holiday
I'm not sure. Don't think we've ever had that.
Something very special.
We've had the X 2019 used a few times, but
campaigns will run from
not at
December
Norse Life.
15th to January 5th, offering a variety of festive in-game rewards simply for logging in. Don't miss this limited time event. It's our way of celebrating the holidays with you.
So lots of exciting stuff on the way in GT7, and this is my first Gran Turismo as well. Now I have to say, it's not only been
it might be Group 3 though, or it could even be Group 4. You know what they're like. They're hard to predict at the moment with dailies.
All right, yeah, I spent far too much time on that, but yeah, amazing depth here. And
look at them trees,
really
Pio.
So far, especially having all those cars in the background.
Pio, look at the trees.
Straight over to race 2 then. As you can probably tell, we're at Monza, one of our favourites, and we've got a brand new car for you lined up as well. The Gran Turismo F3500A. This is basically a 90s F1 car that we've got the drivers in. V12 engine in the back of it, racing medium and soft tyres available for the drivers.
Oh, nice. I didn't know about this. Why did I not know about this?
It's going to be Slipstream City, surely.
I didn't even know about this new car. A new race car, chat. 1 minute. I'm about to faint here, chat.
But a completely different challenge to what we've just had. Street cars with racing tyres and now
an actual race car?
Cars with tons of downforce, tons of power, and just amazing brakes. So again, points available for this race.
What's going on?
From normal, so 12 for win,
nice.
10 for second, and 8.
That's more like it.
If you maybe not
it is new, Gary.
Right
it
now,
is new.
Middle in the standings, like Sasaki
it's an old new car.
There is a chance to turn it around if you have a good race.
We're not. That's not in the game now.
Have had a great time. These are the event
no, that's the one. That's the 15. That's the 1500. This is 90s. The one we've got is the 80s. So this is not turbo. This is pure naturally aspirated. Naturally aspirated. Look at that. It's like a proper old square. Like that's a 90s F1 car. I like that.
Rear-wheel drive, 784 horsepower, 505 kilos.
Naturally aspirated. See, not turbo.
Proper.
Oh yes, that is nice. I like that. That is really nice.
Sorry, I predict a winner campaign.
I like that. More of that. Also, can we get like a Formula 3? I'd love like an F3 type car in this game. A little bit lower power.
Yeah, lots of exciting stuff coming on. This is the current standings of the winner predictions.
I don't mind old cars like that coming to the game. I don't mind it. They obviously can't get the license, can they? So they've created their own.
He's won the Manufacturers Cup champion previously, not won the Nations Cup yet.
I wonder what these sound like. V12?
The first race didn't go particularly brilliantly for him as he's dropped down to 4th in the standings coming into this one from being the leader, but he's still only, what, 5 points adrift of Valerio
We need
Gallo,
something
so
like that, or like a newer version, but like an F3. That's what we need in the game. Lower power, like a slower than the Super Formula.
Lots of points still available, but Miyazono there, clearly the fan favourite, as always. I mean, one of the fastest guys here, and every time we come here, he's someone that's always at the sharp end, always in contention.
I don't know if you saw in the audience the gentleman who's got the Takuma Miyazono merch, and we asked if it was, he said to me, is it up for sale? He said, no, I just made it on Friday night because I fancied it. I love that. Proper passion. Anyway, let's get race 2 underway. Jules, back to you.
Yes, I'm down here on the floor, and honestly, if race 1 is anything to go by, it's only going to get crazier and crazier for race 2 and the grand final. I can't wait. Can you wait? Are you ready? It's going to get pretty Larry. Let's kick off the race.
Yeah, Otto.
Race 2 in the Nations Cup for the Gran Turismo World.
I just like the look of them cars as well, chat. Just look at that. Imagine that with chat. All the liveries from the 90s F1 cars. Get it onto it. It looks so good. That livery looks shit. I'm sorry, but that one looks awful.
Takuma Miyazono in 3rd with his compatriot Takuma Sasaki for company. Next up on row 3, it's Kylian Drumont, former leader of the point standings coming into this
That looks so bad, that livery.
For company in 6th. Next up is Kai de Bruyne, the hometown favourite here in Amsterdam. Can he spring a surprise? He's got
that looks alright, that one. That looks pretty good.
Can do as well.
With the Brazil one.
In 9th position. And completing the top 10 is Robbie Heck in 10th place. And the final row of the grid is comprised of Angel Enestrosa, unlucky not to score in that first race, and he's got Guy Barbara down in 12th position, completing the grid. So, 12 laps of action, compounds of tyres to consider in this one as well.
Oh, 2 different tyres.
Red lights, 2
Let's go.
Race 2 of the Nations Cup here
go,
It's lights out and we're underway. Good start from Gallo, good start from Miyazono off the second row of the grid as well, and he drags out side by side with 3 abreast down in towards the Variante Alta for the first time then.
Monza turn 1 chaos, let's go, come on.
Gallo in the middle of the picture there as well.
Oh, no, Rossetti.
Shoveled onto the grass. Miyazono now side by side here with Takuma Miyazono as they go wheel to
Rossetti's in trouble.
For the first time, heading in towards the Della Roggia chicane. And who is going to manage to take the race lead? Gallo's got the inside line. Miyazono's on
Look at the sparks off them, chat, because they're obviously really low.
Manages to retain his pole position and hold on.
Oh, who's off? Someone off. Someone's off.
Ring joint and bang, loads of cars go straight into the side of him as well.
It's all still going on in the background too. Looks like Kai de Bruyne and Kylian Drumont coming to blows, going through the first of the left moves. But after all that, Gallo just managed to get the lead back. Amazing start from Miyazono. Thought he was going to run away with it then, but Coque Lopez behind, up 3 places, as is...
Oh, I just like these cars. They just look good. They sound good. I like this. More of this, please, BD.
Gallo already starting to put out a tiny bit of a gap, and that's what you want around here.
Yeah, I hope they've got force feedback as well. That's a good point.
Anywhere near close to the car behind you, you're going to get a massive draft down the straight, and Gallo is trying to break that right now.
Serrano's managed to move his way up into 6th position there as well, so he's making some relatively good progress. We come across the timing line at the end.
Serrano started at the front, didn't he? He's lost 3 positions. Didn't Serrano start P3? He got bundled off at the start. He lost 3.
At the start of lap 2, Miyazono in 2nd, Lopez in 3rd. De Bruyne's had a quite brilliant start to this one. Likewise with Lopez as well. They've made up 3 places from where they started. Guy Barber is a good winner on the opening lap as well. He started down at the back of the grid, if you remember. And
he started at the front. They just said he's making up ground. He started at the front.
Sparks flying through there.
I just love seeing these cars that go around. So, of course, this car brand new to Gran Turismo and coming to you relatively soon as Coque Lopez defends from Kai De Bruyne going into the first Lesmo. Coque Lopez just shuts the door there on the Dutch driver, but Kai there showing his intention. Very quick driver is De Bruyne. We've seen him over the course of his series never really get the results he deserves. Here's the onboard start from Coque Lopez. What a start it was from him. Great off the standing start there in the toe of the car.
Yeah, so Serrano got bundled out on turn 1, didn't he there? He was in P2 and he got pushed wide now, so he gets hit there, look.
Sasaki goes wide. Serrano goes off 2. And Coque Lopez there just hanging on for dear life up into 4th.
Yeah, just hoping that the seats would par for him, really, because he had a good amount of momentum going through the curve of Granda. You can see him right on the back of Sasaki, and I was hoping we'd stay on board with that, just going in towards the Della Roggia chicane there. I wondered whether we might work out
Miyazono's gradually getting a little bit closer here. He's getting a little bit closer.
Now down into
Gen X, thank you very much for the 1 month, legend. It's a great channel. Love you guys. Thank you very much for the support, Gen X. Make sure you give him a big thumbs up and legend shout out there for Gen X, please, chat.
Medium shod drivers. Now just bucking the trend is Sasaki there, who's managed to get himself ahead of Angel Inestrosa and up into 9th place. De Bruyne, meanwhile, we know that he loves a high downforce car. We've seen him in the X2019 putting in some great performances over the course of 2024, and now we're back in these Formula cars. You can see that the Dutchman is
Lopez looks pretty good in these, doesn't he, as well?
Oh. Before too long here.
Yeah, a little bit less downforce in these cars.
I tell you what, chat, VR in these. VR in this car would be one hell of an experience, I reckon.
He goes through the first Lesmo into Lesmo 2 now, and this is where you can use the toe of the car in front to get a bit closer for a possible move into a Sky, but we're too far back for that right now.
Yeah, Killian's on mediums doing all right there.
Starting to pull away a little bit from Kai De Bruyne.
So down the back straight we go in towards Ascari.
Serrano's back. He's come back after being shoveled off the course earlier on. The Spaniard started in 2nd place.
Go on, Jose.
Back with a vengeance. This is one man you can never count out. And Jose Serrano with a great recovery.
I'll show you. You want full cam? There you go.
Takuma Miyazono. That gap's
full cam active.
Attempts now to only 2 attempts. It looks like the Japanese is in a position to strike.
Yeah, Valerio Gallo's going to be under pressure here before too long. I dare say being passed quite possibly by Takuma Miyazono. Down the start-finish straight we go.
Looks like the slipstream's very strong on this.
It's all a bit in vain defending it as we head in towards the braking zone. Side by side for 3rd place there as well. Lopez
Kai got through to P3.
Goes up into P3 as well. Much to the applause of the crowd here in Amsterdam. They've absolutely loved that one, and they could see their man doing quite well on home soil here.
Yeah, they're not slippers today, no.
So Miyazono leads the pack in the opposite position from Valerio Gallo. He now has to keep an eye on his mirrors. Gallo, these guys are smart drivers. They race together a lot. There's no point pushing
together. Don't know when we'll be getting the card, not sure.
Having big fights. So saying that, Coque Lopez and Serrano maybe disagreeing with that statement. Every man for himself in Nations Cup. This is no longer a Manufacturers Cup effort. It's no longer the series format from last year where Nations was a team effort. It's a single...
Oh, Gallo!
Gallo's made a mistake. Our leader, our points leader is off.
Something's happened to Valerio Gallo then, and Sasaki's picked up a 1-second penalty for driving dangerously post-incident. Not related there to Gallo, but that is an absolute disaster for the Italian driver.
How did that happen? He must have hit the curb on the exit, mustn't he? Has to be that dodgy curb.
But where he will start on the grid for the
Otto, thank you very much for the 7 months as well, legend. Appreciate it, Otto.
With him down in towards the Parabolica. And one point to mention in this one, of course, because it's a 12-lapper and we've got 2 tyre compounds, drivers will have to pit. Let's work out what happened, though, to Valerio Gallo.
Dodgy curve, maybe, was it? Let's see. Curve on the left there.
He lit it up over the curb all on his own there, Valerio Gallo. Made a mistake in the second Lesmo. And unfortunately there for him, and Kai de Bruin takes the lead at the
Go on, Kai.
corner. Fantastic for the Dutchman, and the crowd here
Go on, Kai.
on their feet and loving that as the Dutchman.
I tell you who will be loving all this fighting, Killian, chat. Killian, he's only 3 seconds behind the battle for the lead on the slower tyre.
Miyazono, Serrano, Lopez, and lighting up the rear tyres. And actually, that's going to allow Miyazono to get alongside, coming into the first Lesmo. Not really an overtaking position, though, as they stake through one at a time. 4 cars all separated.
No new track. I don't think there'll be many more tracks to come now. Maybe like 1 or 2, maybe.
Looking back over the rear wing of Kai de Bruin, that V12 engine singing away behind us. 700 horsepower propelling us down to Ascari. But here's a replay. Here is Kai de Bruin taking the lead from Miyazono. Easy peasy, uses the draft, goes by Miyazono, and Miyazono doesn't really fight it too much.
You can hear it bouncing off the rev limiter as they come down the south finish straight, can't they? He'd be hoping for a bit longer in terms of the gear ratios, but either way, he had enough straight line speed to take profit. But look at the train of cars, look how close they're following. We've almost got an 8-wheeler going on there between the top 2 at the moment as they come towards the end of lap 5.
Yeah, that slipstream's on a very strong setting. Look how strong the slip is.
At the moment, as Miyazono ready to repay the favour on De Bruin, the medium shot runner.
Nah, it's a bit too strong, I think, that. I think it needs to be. I think they need to weaken the slip a little bit when it's got this custom slip. I like that they can follow, but I think it needs to be a bit weaker. It's a bit too strong.
Hunter 2 being hunted, Serrano and Lopez just keeping their powder dry at the moment.
Here's how this will affect the live points standings. Miyazono would move up to the lead. Serrano second, Gallo would drop to 3rd place. De Bruin and Lopez 4th and 5th. But we still have half the race to go here at Monza. Our second race of the Nations Cup 2024 World Finals. On board with Kai de Bruin through that first Lesmo. You're getting on board. Look what it's like to drive this new F3500A Gran Turismo race car. So quick, these things through the corners, tons of power on the straight too. You saw getting up to nearly 350 kilometers an hour in the toe down the straight. Crazy speed through here as we go through Ascari.
A bit wide there for Miyazono on the first part of that chicane there. Just set him offline.
Yeah, Killian's gone. Killian's going onto the soft tyre now. So
De Bruin, despite being close to him, he's not going to be able to challenge into
the only thing is, though, if they're working well together with slip, I don't know if you. Well, I mean, surely they're going to lose a bit battling though.
Interesting, Lopez has fallen off the back of this little pack here. He opts to pit in. Koke Lopez is the first of the soft runners.
So this will be interesting, chap. How close will
he's actually catching these guys?
How close will Killian be
over Jose Serrano? So he's really put pedals to the
metal. To Lopez, let's see.
Sasaki all in for their one and only pit stop in this race. So unlike
so this would be like 1.5, 2 seconds behind maybe.
To consider as well. Who are the big winners and losers going to be in terms of the pit stop? Well, Lopez is
down to 3, 2.5, 2.5 about.
Came into the pits last time around.
But now Killian's got the soft tyre versus their mediums.
Boxing earlier, I'm not sure if that new medium tyre is as fast as an old soft tyre, but we're about to find out. So right now, Koke Lopez, has he come out in clear air? He has. He's got a nice big gap in front of him, so he can drive into that gap now. Maximum attack for Koke Lopez, and if it all goes well, when these guys come in for their pit stop, he'll be ahead of the lot of them. But we're on board with Jose Serrano. Awesome recovery from the Spanish driver so far to sit in 3rd place. Very much still in contention.
One thing to consider though for Koke Lopez, behind him, Killian Drummond is closing that gap down. It was 2.5 seconds at the start of this one. He's on the soft compound of tyre.
Man, this slipstream's a bit too strong.
Behind him there.
Look at the speeds they're hitting.
He could be ready to throw a spanner into the works because he, of course, was on the alternate strategy. Drummond starts on the mediums. He's now on the softs, the quicker compound of tyre to the end of this race.
In comes then Takuma Miyazono to pit lane. He does kind of Bruin. Serrano stays out. Interesting. Serrano.
Josetti's really good on the tyres, chap.
I don't know if that's the right choice, but we'll see.
Josetti's really good on tyre wear, I think.
Have a chance of winning this thing, but the Spaniards splitting their
Remember,
Miyazono and De Bruin coming, as does
what race was it, Ray? He was insane on the tyres, so Serrano seems to be really good on tyre wear. I'd like to see the tyre wear graph, really.
Lopez in the background. Does he jump Valerio Gallo? He does. Ahead of Gallo goes Lopez. And now we're going to see if Serrano has made the right choice. This has to be an amazing lap.
Killian's only 3/10 behind Gallo.
Pretty damn quick.
Drummond is all over the gearbox though of Valerio Gallo. He's closed that gap down to 3/10 of a second. So this could be a late race charge here from the quartet of soft shot runners.
I think
Drummond,
Killian's about to overtake Gallo here.
I would say Carrazza, but he's a fair way off the back of them. And look at that, Drummond now challenging Valerio Gallo into the Della Roggia and going through.
There he is, through.
I just think it was a better choice to go medium first here, because now if you get that tire out of the way, you can use the draft of the other cars at the start of the race, and then when they change, of course, to that slower tire, you have the advantage. You have the car underneath you plus the toe to get by these guys. So let's see if that strategy works for Killian Drummond. He's got a lot of work to do though. He's not close. He's about.
He should be able to get past Lopez now.
The overall leaders. Once everything plays out,
I would think that he'll wait. I wouldn't want to overtake him here. Will he wait for the next straight, surely?
Serrano in. Now, has he done enough to stay?
Is he going to wait? Is he going to go for it there? I think that's risky, because won't Lopez just get straight back past him here? I think he should have waited for the straight, because I think Lopez might get him back there.
Relative to the rest of those drivers around him, will he hold on to the race lead? I think he will, just about. He's going to be mightily close, and he does take the lead of the race away from
No, he's managed to hold on.
Who in turn running a bit deep. They're involved in their own squabble, but they've got to be careful because Drummond is coming like a freight train behind. He's on the soft compound of tyre, and he's only got 3 laps.
Josetti will be in a good position here, because he's going to have really good tyres at the end, isn't he?
What a run by Jose Serrano, really putting in that lap time when it mattered. But he's got Mirzona and De Bruin charging behind, and this man, Killian Drummond, on that soft compound of tyre, being followed actually by Guy Barbaro, who's actually just had a mistake. The commentator's curse, I'll say that. But Killian Drummond looking fast right now. He's got the tyre advantage, he's got the toe. It should be fairly.
Go on, Killian. Go on, Killian. Make me a million.
Then the other question: can he put
Will he go for it here? Will he go? He's got to go for it here, surely. He'll have the aero to get through the corner.
Will use that tyre advantage. The French driver up into 3rd place, and now looking like a real threat for the race win here.
I don't know whether his tyres will be good enough at the end to get past Josetti though, because Josetti's will be so fresh.
12 points for the victory, down to 1 point for 10th place, and of course this race result will decide the grid for the grand final coming up later on here tonight as well, and that could be absolutely critical. So across the timing line we go then to begin lap 10 at the front. Serrano leads 7/10 of a second in front of Takuma Miyazono, but the fast charging soft shot Killian Drummond is on the brakes. He's into the Rettifilio chicane for the next time of asking.
Go on, Killian, go on.
He's got a significant amount of pace underneath him, and you wonder how long it is going to be before he's going to be closing up.
He needs to get past Miyazono on this lap. I think he needs to get past Josetti before the last lap, because if it's on the last lap, I think Killian's tyres will be fading a bit.
All over the curbs there. Oh, it's very sketchy taking a car that's this stiff over a curb like that, but just about managed to get it through in one piece through the 2 Lesmos. Kai De Bruin, though, is holding on back there. But we do have, again, if you look at the tyre wear there is a risk that towards the end of this race, Killian Drummond's tyres are going to start to fall away from him. So what that means is now is the chance, now is the time to make all those moves and try and stay ahead. Guy Barbara there being slapped with a 2-second penalty for an incident we've not seen yet, but I'm sure will be shown at some point.
Yeah, that was with Koke Lopez. We saw it under investigation a couple of laps ago. So Barbara deemed at fault. Down the straight we go, in towards the Parabolica to start the penultimate lap of racing.
Innistrosa's done well, hasn't he? He started at the back, didn't he? He's up to P5.
25.1 for Miyazono last round, 23.7 for Killian Drummond, which just goes to show the pace difference here in the soft tyre. And surely he is now going to close.
Is he going to send it? Surely he'll send it here.
And he does indeed do so. Side by side, we're about to go down in towards the Rettifilio. Up the inside goes Killian Drummond and through into.
Come on, this is going to be a good battle. Will he have the tyres though?
Make this happen. He's come from 5th place on the grid and now is in the wheel tracks of Jose Serrano. Serrano's driven an amazing race, shoveled off at the start of the lap, of the start of the race, and then having to recover from there. Now here's the replay. Here's why Guy Barbara was giving a 2-second penalty.
Oh yeah.
It just sort of drove Koke Lopez on the circuit and then came back across.
Lopez, so unlucky.
Gallo caught up in that massively.
Yeah, he got sandwiched in the middle, didn't he there, Valerio Gallo? Nowhere to go, not his fault at all. And Guy Barbara, as you say, Unfortunate for him. Unfortunate, though, more so for Valerio Gallo and for Koke Lopez.
Yeah, that was not the best.
At the moment, mean that Jose Serrano would take the
unlucky
lead
for
of the
Lopez,
standings
though.
going
Lopez
into
got
the
screwed
grand
there.
final, which is double the points again, 24 points for the victory. But if Kylian Drummond manages to win this one, he will put himself in a prime opportunity for leading the standings as we come through, ready to start the final lap of racing here.
Right, this is interesting though, because I don't know if he's got the tyres now.
He'll have a chance here at the end of the straight if he can get a good exit out of the parabolic.
He's got a good exit. He's got the exit. Josetti's going to defend this though.
This race for the last few laps with an awesome overcut strategy on that soft compound tyre. But look in the mirror.
Has he got enough?
He's not going to quite be close enough. I think for a move to the third chicane. Looks to the inside, tries to get into the mirrors of Jose Serrano.
Oh, Josetti's gone deep.
A little bit wide there, and Drummond is now all over the back of the Spanish driver. That is how you do it. Distract him, get in that mirrors, and now Drummond's got a real chance of making this move.
On the inside through the Curva Grande, then side by side they go.
Oh, he's got a bit better speed on the exit though. Josetti's got the inside.
Try and stick it with him on the inside, side by side into the braking zone, and Serrano manages the hard
Good racing.
race away because he can't go 2 by 2 through there.
I don't think he's got the tyres anymore. I don't think Kylian's tyres are with him. He had to get in before the last lap, I think. Let's see. It looks like these tyres are faded a bit too much now.
A good exit from Serrano up towards the Scurry.
I think them fresher mediums are actually possibly quicker. Let's see if he can stay with him through here.
Through this left, through the right, and through a left.
Nah, look, he's pulling away a bit. Oh my God, he's got a good exit.
I don't think he's close enough, Tom, but here we are. This might be it for Kylian
I
Drummond.
don't think he's close enough.
So in the slipstream then is Kylian Drummond through in towards the final corner of the second race of the evening in the Nations Cup. He closes up.
Just can't, he's just not got the tyres left.
Drummond for the victory here at Monza. Is it going to be a drag to the line? Spaniard versus Frenchman as we come to take the checkered flag.
Good race.
Serrano wins it from Drummond. Zono takes third. A fantastic race and superb defensive driving from the Spaniard, giving him the championship lead going into the grand final. De Bruyne finishes in 4th place, just off of the podium there as well, the hometown hero here in Amsterdam. But that was a fantastic final lap for Jose Serrano and for Kylian Drummond. Drummond tried as hard as he could.
You did Josetti, didn't you, Pio?
Make it easy. He parked his car in exactly the right place at the right time. There was only one real opportunity, and as such, it does mean that Jose Serrano has the upper hand going into the last race of the 2024 season.
That'll be a difficult one for Valerio Gallo to swallow, I think, after that. Getting caught up in an incident that wasn't his fault, but of course, the first mistake completely on him, and it just takes one mistake here. The level is so high that that's all it takes to take yourself out of contention. But this is how we started the race, of course. Standing start. Great start from Kiyomiya Zono, managing to jump Gallo and Serrano at the start and going up into the lead.
Is that the actual stream lag in there? Because mine even lagged there.
Meaning he would drop back through the field.
Yeah, Jose Serrano there, as you say, going off onto the gravel. We're quite disappointed with that one. This was Miyazono challenging Gallo for the race lead as we.
Let me check if their stream is doing that on here.
4 out of 12. Meanwhile, Gallo versus Miyazono.
Yeah, the stream's doing it.
Gallo, which really defined his
it's the stream on the YouTube.
For him. Let's have a look
at
the results, shall we?
it's
Serrano takes
Gran
victory,
Turismo.
12 points and the title lead going into the final race of the year. Drummond in second. He tried as hard as he could. You can't take it away from the young Frenchman, but second best is what he has to settle for. Miyazono in third. De Bruyne, great haul of points for him. We thought he would be on for the podium as well. Let's take a look at what it means though for the points rankings. So Serrano has got a nice comfortable cushion of what's that, 5 points going into the grand final.
And interestingly, the drivers that we sort of
going to be interesting
with are the
this.
ones that are kind of left really for contention going into that grand final. It is double points yet again. So again,
I think only the top 4 are in this now, aren't they?
And Gallo both on 27 apiece, and Miyazono just one behind on 26 points there. But I mean, what a race from Serrano. So impressive that.
Yeah, double points then. Let's get down to Jules, who's catching up with our winner, Jose Serrano.
Yeah.
I think the next race is the final, isn't it?
Hang out, have a little rest after that. How did you find out? How was it driving those cars? They looked, first of all, sorry, I'm going to digress. It looked fun. Was it fun?
Yeah, it's fun, it's faster, so it's so good.
Yeah. And also, obviously, you made that decision, you know, not to stay out and not to pit. And obviously, that was the right decision. Had you sort of, what made you decide to do that in the moment?
I saved the tire a lot, and I decided to pit one more lap, so it is helped me so yeah.
Yeah. I mean, how did it feel after the first race where you were being, you know, you're being rather aggressive there towards Valerio? How did it feel to have Killian behind you this time? And
so stressful.
yeah, kicking the back of your car, like. But you kept it together. You kept it together.
Yeah.
Who? Rosetti. Rosetti's quick in the
very good form this
X2019.
weekend. Yeah.
Anything high downforce, Rosetti's always quick. Don't know if he's as quick as Killian, but then Rosetti's really good at Nordschleife though, isn't he? If this last race is at Nordschleife, Rosetti's insane at Nordschleife. But so is Killian, so
this is an
who knows?
Absolutely spectacular venue that we've been in for the World Finals in 2024. The Theatre Amsterdam. You'll never guess where it is with that name. But look at these cars down there. You've got a Porsche 911 GT3 RS, Toyota Supra, the brand new Hyundai Ioniq 5N as well. So yeah, there's a real smattering of machinery. We've got the media here, we've got an audience here, we've got racing that's going down to the final one as well of the season. You can't ask for more.
Yeah, it's almost like we scripted that, didn't we? That's how we've done it. No, I wish we could say we were that clever, but yeah, it's all going to come down to this final race. Super excited to see what comes.
And look at where we are as well. The Nürburgring 24 hours at the circuit that Jimmy Broadbent is pretty familiar with in the Red Bull X 2019. Racing hard, medium and soft tyres available for the drivers. They must use each tyre type at least once. A 7-lap duration, a rolling start for them as well. Jimmy, what are the tricks of the trade around this track?
Well, you say it's just carrying the speed, but in this X 2019...
It's going to be hard to overtake in this on the corners because it's such high downforce.
This downforce monster around what I think anyway is the most challenging circuit in the world. It's a sight to behold. 7 laps is a long time to keep that level of concentration. Every corner here can end up with a DNF if you just put the car in the wrong place. A reminder, double points we're going to say here. So it's 24 points available for the winner here. Massive haul of points if you can come away victorious in this grand final, and that can change everything.
Yeah, it certainly can. So just a reminder of the point standings. Jose Serrano, 32 points for him going into this one. Killian Drummond, only 5 points adrift. Likewise, Valerio Gallo as well. It's still mathematically possible for, what's that? Oh, we've got about 8 drivers.
Wouldn't it be the hard tyres though as well? Wouldn't it be the hard tyres that would cause a little bit of an issue? I would think the hard tyres would be the problem with this. Like that lap on the hards. Oh, this car is so sketchy on hard tyres.
Second in the standings. Now, the Red Bull X 2019. We love this car in the Nations Cup. It has been the highlight of the last few seasons. 816 horsepower, 650 kilograms, a high downforce monster at a very tricky circuit.
Yeah, I mean, I can't even fathom getting this car around here at these speeds. These guys are going to be racing. Overtaking spots that wouldn't usually be overtaking spots will appear. Corners that are nowhere near flat usually are going to be completely flat in this. And although...
do you know what they should use for one of the qualifier races? They should use the junior for one of the before ones, you know? Like the, we had the...
What do you make of this, Tom?
The road car one before, and then that one then. They should use the junior one at some point. The junior's really good.
Be involved as well. And I love the fact that the drivers generally ignore it, although maybe not so much here because the fact the lap is quite as long as it is. You know, if you decide to go for another lap around a track that's 5 kilometers, it's a bit different to the green hell, isn't it?
Now, the strategy in the middle is the one that I was chatting with Nico Romero earlier, who's not in this series before. I reckon it's going to be 2-4-1 on that. 2 on the soft, 4 on the mediums, 1 lap on the hard tyre. You might think, well, why would you use that hard tyre for only 1 lap when it lasts longer? Well, look, it's nearly 10 seconds a lap slower than that racing soft tyre. So again, get off that hard tyre as quick as possible.
Now, the thing is, with the Nordschleife circuit as well, Jimmy, it's very much one at a time through a lot of the circuit. You can't find your way through. Now, if you're Valerio Gallo, say, for example, you're not starting as far up the order as you would be liking for this grand final, do you take a gamble and go on the soft tyre, or is that going to be in vain because of the fact that you might not be able to find your way through for a good portion of the lap?
Well, yeah, you want to use that soft tyre ideally when you have a clear circuit ahead of you. One of the other things to take into consideration here is dirty air. I mean, this circuit, as you said, Tom, already pretty difficult to pass at the best of times, but then you throw in dirty air, which makes it harder to get close to someone in front of you. So, I don't know. I'm glad I'm not the one down there having to make this choice. I get to just sit here and yap about it, which I think I do a bit better than driving, to be honest.
I don't know about that.
Oh,
anyway, so that was a cheap shot. It's the last one, isn't it? Anyway, don't forget about the Michelin driver of the day as well.
Do you reckon they'll get 4 laps out of the softs there? What was the tyre wear rate?
Let's get the grand final then underway, down to Jules.
I was wondering if they'll do 3-3-1.
Yes, this is it. After all the hard-fought battles, all the racing, everything, traveling the entire world, it comes down to this race, the final race of the Gran Turismo World Series Nations Cup season. It all comes down to this. You guys ready? It's gonna be great. We'll see you on the other side.
I don't know though, because times 3, they might not get 3 laps out of the softs. They might not get 3 out of the softs. Don't know. They'll want to use the softs as much as possible though, because if the softs are 8 seconds quicker than the hard, even a dead soft will be quicker than the hard tire. So you limit the hard tire use, don't you? Yeah, PO. The PO strategy. I would think some people will start on the hard tyre here.
12 drivers and only one world
The reason they might start on hard tyre, chat, is because it's hard to overtake. So some drivers might want to just get the hard tyre out of the way, hit, and get clean air.
In 2024. Red Bull X 2019 is the car, and on pole position the winner from race 2 and the championship leader, Jose Serrano. Kilian Drummond joins him on the front row of the grid. Row 2 headed by 2020 champion Takuma Miyazono. Next up is Kai de Bruin, the Dutchman, to a roar from the Dutch crowd. Angel Nostroza, P5. He loves these cars. We know he can be quick. Valerio Gallo down in 6th place. He's got a bit of work to do, and he's got Guy Barbara in 7th position right behind him as well. Next up, Adriano Carrazza, P8 on the grid. And just inside the top 10, Takuma Sasaki. He's had a bit of a difficult second race. Completing the top 10, it is Robbie Heck, the American driver. Next up, his compatriot Callum Roach in P11. 12th and last on the grid, Coque Lopez. He has also got a lot of work to do from that far back. Now, let's look at the tyres for the final time this season at the start of the race. Serrano, he's got clear track in front of him here, Jimmy. He wants to make hay while the sun
He's going to pull away here as well, because they're on mediums.
It's the right choice, I think, from Jose Serrano. He needs just to make himself a big gap as quick as possible. Use that clean air, use that
This is going to be interesting now, because if Kilian and Miyazono don't fight too much and they can do good pace, they will be better at the end, because the tyre wear with the fuel, you'll have less fuel. It's always faster to start on the harder tyre.
The start-finish line we are. Here are the live points rankings. You can see Jose Serrano it is that leads it then. 5 points over Kilian Drummond. Double points on offer for this grand final. And only one driver that can be crowned as the 2024 Nations Cup.
Because it's always faster. Because, for example, if Kilian started, the risk for Kilian was he would have got mobbed on lap 1. But they can get in the pits. That's why. Like, for example, Gallo's in P6, is he? Gallo's in P6 on the hard tyre. That's a really smart move, because he can just get in the pits, be first in the pits, and then he's got total clear track to just push. He's got no one in front of him. See, the problem for Gallo now is if he started on mediums or softs, he could get held up in the fast corners so much. So Gallo's done a really smart choice there, I think, from P6 starting on the hard tyre.
And the clear air in front of him.
You look at the gap already, 7 tenths of a second in the background there as Roach gets by Sasaki. Gallo also moving behind Carrazza, but Serrano, the right choice for him for his race is just going to get away early and try and avoid squabbling with his guys behind him. Drummond ahead of Miyazono, and Kai de Bruin looking already for a move on Takuma Miyazono. Maybe a bit of contact on the way there through there, but de Bruin up into 3rd place and showing his intention early.
He didn't take that one lying down, did he, Kai de Bruin? He just wants to make hay whilst the sun shines. He knows how tricky this Nordschleife circuit is. We're on the Grand Prix layout at the moment, but as we head on to the proper Nordschleife...
Look how quick the softs are already, 1.5, chat.
Look at that, 1.5 seconds for Jose Serrano in the opening stages of this race. Keen to see also what Robbie Heck is going to be able to do from 7th position. He's on the soft tyre, and he is going to be a lot quicker than those in front of him on the medium compact tyre. But will he be able, of course, to use that speed? That's the question that we were asking at the start of this race. And as we head on to the green,
I think Robbie Heck might have made a mistake there from P7. Well, I don't know where he started, but starting on the soft tyres at the back, the whole middle sector is going to be really difficult to overtake. So you're just going to lose so much time.
And you can see how close he is to Kai de Bruin, but he's not going to be able to use any of that momentum at the moment. So de Bruin's hoping to hold it into 3rd place and then try and use some of the a little bit later on to try and play things out.
It's mad seeing the speed of these things through the first part of for the Nordschleife here, the Nürburgring proper, and you have no time to think. You get through one corner and another one is upon you, completely flat there after Flugplatz. Now we take the long run down towards Schwedenkreuz, a corner that in real life in most cars is a bit of a lift and a bit of a panic. In this car, watch Kilometers own throttle input there through his left-hander. Of course, completely flat at 200 miles an hour before braking hard down to Arbor. Just touched the grass there on the left. Very lucky to get away with that, and now we plummet down towards the forest, between the trees, down towards the compression and the foxhole. Again, completely flat down here for these drivers, keeping that foot pinned even for the left-hander here before we slow right down. But Adam now forced a very tricky section through here. It's going to be showing.
Kinda.
Follow close to Kaida Bruins, who's touched a couple of curbs through there, unsettling the car. You don't want to do that. The curbs here on a Nordschleife are very tall. You hit them in the wrong way, they're going to send you into the
That
barrier.
car on the hard tyres is going to be super sketchy on them curbs.
Up 5 places from where he started, so he really managed to
So
take advantage of that
fuel
soft
will come
side
into
when
play
they
a bit with this as well, won't it? I think the fuel's involved.
And now he's up inside the top 5. I wonder if his progress is going to stall somewhat as we come through this section of the circuit. You can see Miyazono and De Bruyne very close to one another, and then a fairly
I mean,
gap.
this is looking good for Josetti here though, chat. What you need to remember though is on lap 2, the gap might not pull away as much because obviously tyre wear. But he's already nearly got 3.5 seconds, well, 3.2, 3.3, and they're only halfway round the lap. So that's a big gap. That means the hard tyre is going to be losing 10 seconds or more.
A hard tyre to really hinder other people. But here's a replay. We're on board with Karatza going down on T1. We have a lunge on Guy Barbara. We don't look at it. Barbara and Gallo are side by side. Just a little bit sideways there. There's contact there. Barbara hits the wall, then hits Gallo. And Karatza just about manages to get by all of them up into, I think it's going to be a net 6th place once he gets by Valerio. There it is. So a nice start from Karatza there, if not a little bit hectic.
Yeah, it was all hectic in front of him, really, wasn't it? With Barbara and Gallo coming together in that second corner, and that sort of started off that chain of events.
They're not going to pull too much on this part. It's just flat out, isn't it? So the mediums aren't really going to be benefiting on the high-speed corners. But then again, now from now onwards, you should see Josetti pull away again on the traction zones in these corners.
What is in his hands? Just worry about his own race and get on with the job. In towards the carousel, probably the most famous section on this Nordschleife circuit.
I watched something. That absolutely froze it through there, and now we get to the highest point of the circuit, Hoa Axe, this corner, and it's all downhill from here, although literally, not figuratively, as we now just try and make our way through what I think is the most challenging part of the circuit. So much camber, so much elevation here from Wipperman, like it's nothing. Completely flat through there, on the brakes, use the camber on the inside of this right hand, and again, dive to the
4.6 now. He gained a second just in them corners.
Almost known as YouTube. In this right-hander, again, just throwing the car. It looks effortless.
Kai looks quicker than Killian.
It's just ridiculous.
I don't know whether it could be a bit of slipstream, but Kai looks a bit quicker than what Killian does. And Miyazano's sticking in there as well. Look, Miyazano's right behind Kai.
What's going on? I could not keep up with this. This is too much. I mean, like, this is why these drivers are the best in the world.
See you later, Arkies, by the way.
Easy watching it, but you think how quickly these corners are coming up on you. You have to be precise every corner, otherwise you end up just spearing off into the barrier. Climb the carousel now.
Yeah, I saw that. Missed the line of it.
A little bit eager on the throttle there, and then slow on exit, and that means he's going to be under attack.
Miyazano's going to get him here.
Onto this long back straight, Le Dottinger.
Yeah, lovely to see the Dottinger again.
Problem you got, Miyazano won't be able to overtake here though, because look, did he back up on purpose there, save fuel? Yeah, because he couldn't overtake him because Kai's got the slipstream to Killian, and if he pulled out, he just got overtook again. So he's deliberately saved fuel, then he's going to go from here. No, look, see the slipstream, look. Kai's just going to get the slipstream back off of Killian.
And still, he is on the outside here, but you've got to be careful because it's a bit sketchy going through there as it's so close to the grass into the braking zone. We've seen a few instances there in the Gran Turismo World Series over the last 6 years or so. Thankfully, not this time.
Yeah, to give you an idea of the pace advantage, it's a 6:24 from Storano from a standing start for a rolling start, and a 6:30 from Killian Dream Watson.
I'm not racing, so I've got my t-shirt underneath. We're not racing today. We're just chilling watching this.
Doing a good job in second place. The faster the medium runners, but not able to keep the pace of Serrano on that soft. Lopez opting to come
6 seconds gap in one second lap is pretty strong on the softs. I think that's strong pace.
Opted to stay out another lap.
I was just about to say, interestingly, Gallo and Barbara have not decided to.
No, because Killian hasn't got a slip. Killian's got no slip, and
say that the hard tyre is lava. You want to stay off.
I mean, he's dragging Kai and Miyazano along, but I wonder if Miyazano might have better pace here in P4 than the two cars ahead. So I think this is, at the moment, it looks like it's helping. Looks like it's helping Rossetti here, to be honest. But this is the lap that matters now for the mediums versus the softs, because lap 1, the softs were always going to blitz the mediums, but now the tyre wear's kicking in, so it'll be interesting. It was 6.5 or 6 over the line, wasn't it? So let's see what Serrano gains on this lap now compared to the mediums.
So I think it stands to reason the medium might struggle to do 4 as well, but we settle on them watching Kaiser Bruin making his way through the chicane very, very quick through there, and now back on to the Nordschleife, the northern loop. Really awesome to see these cars and make their way around.
So
this
see the advantage with the fuel though. So obviously Kai and Miyazano have got better fuel than Killian and Rossetti. Rossetti's used a lot of fuel up.
Etc. You know, he's done about 6 or 7 litres more fuel. Jose Serrano doesn't sound like a particularly great deal.
So
that's you know,
he ain't going to be able to do 3 laps. Serrano, he's going to have to do. They're going to have to do 2-4. They're going to have to do 2-4-1, chat, if they can. 2-4-1 will be the way to do it if they can survive 4 on the mediums, because Serrano's rear tyres are on 50%. There's no way he could do another lap after this. It's not going to have the tyre wear. So they're only going to get 2 laps out of the softs. So they're probably going to want to try and get 4 out the mediums and make them work, and probably do the tyre saving on the mediums. That's why I reckon Serrano's pushing on this on the softs, because he'll wait for the mediums to do the tyre saving stint and do the 4 laps.
Doing what he said he was doing earlier on, just sort of hanging behind Kaiser Brewing, being pulled along by this train in front of him, but also saving that time in the pit stop. There's so much that goes into.
Yeah, I think some people will do 2 laps because you can then go aggressive on the soft. Maybe with lower fuel, you could. I still don't think you get 3 laps out of the soft though, because if Rossetti's on 50% at the start of lap 2 on the rears, he's going to be on like 20% after 2 laps. So there's no way. I can't see them doing 3 laps on the soft. So I would think he's just going to do 2-2-3. So he'll do 2 on the hard, 2 on the soft, and then 3 on the medium, Gallo, I think.
Because you've got that extra pace and no opportunity to be able to use it through these sweeping corners.
So yeah, Gallo will go. What Gallo will do is he'll probably go mediums next after 2 laps, do the 3 laps on the mediums, and then just have really good strong tyres at the end. I think that's Gallo's best option. Just get like as fast as you can on the last, have the best tyre at the end.
If you lose a grip, you really feel it as we go back up the hill once more. Interestingly, we'll keep one eye on Koke Lopez, because he's gone completely different.
You ordered a meat lover's pizza.
Got that hard tyre off, and now he's on a soft tyre with no one in front of him. So
because look at the tyre wear, Pio. Like, I think I think 4 laps on the medium is going to be tricky, because if Rossetti's got 50% on the softs after 1 and a bit laps, like, I need to see the tyre wear graph again now, really, to see what their rear tyres are. It's the rear tyres that seem to be the problem. So it'd be interesting to see what Killian's rears are like after 2 laps, because if they're anywhere near 50%, you're not going to get 4 laps, because this car with no rear tyres would be horrible. But I reckon Serrano on lower fuel might be able to save the tyres enough on the rear, because Serrano's really good at tyre saving, so he might be able to do a 2. He might do 2, 1 lap on the hard, and then go for 4 on the mediums with lower fuel. That's what Serrano might try and do, I think. Old mediums should still be quicker than, well, depends how old the mediums are. Like, if the mediums are old but still got tyre life, they're going to beat the hard tyre, no matter what. Because the hard tyres just don't have the grip, especially on a car like this.
624 for this is ridiculous for the full now. To give you some context, of course, I'm lucky enough to race the equivalent of a Group 4 car in real life, and our best lap time was like an 8:38. is 2 minutes, 2 and a bit minutes faster. That's just ridiculous around here.
I'll give it a matter of time, Jimmy. It's probably a matter of time before you end up in some kind of fast prototype, isn't it?
Oh, please, not here, please. I don't want to.
Shut your eyes, turn the wheel, and hope for the best, wouldn't it?
I just don't want to do it.
Through the long right hander we go, then the fast left hander as they make their way through, and Kai de Bruyne, as we said, just
Miyazano, I think, looks very quick.
He's got a penalty as well down there in a position. Didn't quite see.
You see how he's just hanging back? I wonder if Miyazano's saving fuel. I want to see the fuel versus Killian, because I reckon Miyazano is just sat behind saving fuel here. I think he's just doing tyre saving because he can't overtake in that middle sector. So it'd be really interesting to see the fuel. I want to see a fuel graph pop up. Yeah, there you go. 52.48 for Killian. So Kai and Miyazano are both saving their fuel. Killian and Josetti 43. Josetti's going 100% on the soft chap. He's going flat out. He's got a lot of... Oh, that fuel could be a problem. Oh, 24% on the fronts. Oh, I reckon the mediums can do 4 laps, chat. The mediums should be able to do 4 laps if you do it on the last stint. So I don't know about on the first stint here, though. I reckon the people that started on the mediums might only get 3. But I reckon Serrano on lower fuel should be able to get 4 laps on the mediums. Will he go mediums now with the lower fuel? He's going to have to refuel up, though. No, he's going to do hard tyre and not refuel, is he? Let's see.
So medium trim runners again, trying to go as
right
long
there
as possible. Trying to do, what, 4 laps on those medium tyres, quite possibly. We're on lap 3 now. So Serrano comes into the box. He, of course, has used more fuel because he's
going mediums
in front of him, and that is the difficult thing.
Surely he's only going to put enough fuel in to get him because he wants to get 4 laps done on the mediums, doesn't he? Surely.
A bit more fuel, and it's a lot
How much is he putting in?
To gain time on track than it is to lose time in the pit
Is he
lane.
going to go max fuel?
Like a lot, but in the
maximum fuel? No, 90.
To get that back on track, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does. I mean, like, as you say, a second in the pit lane is much easier to lose.
Oh, he's got traffic there. Who was that?
There's Serrano, so he's back now in P10.
Oh no, he's got traffic.
Lopez, interestingly, ahead of him now on that soft compounder tyre. So it goes to show that Lopez's first stint was actually pretty good.
Yeah, really good from Coque Lopez, former Nations Cup champion, of course, won it back in 2022.
So no, they've got that wrong. Lopez's stint wasn't that good, chat. The reason Lopez is ahead of Serrano is purely fuel. That's because Lopez hasn't refueled. So Serrano has refueled up to 90. Lopez hasn't refueled, that's why he's got ahead.
Because of course he's got Robbie Heck behind. He's closed up the gap quite nicely, about 5 seconds or so, compared to where he was as when he came out in that pit stop.
But Lopez hasn't refueled up.
Lopez, but again, those around him have still got to make their pit stop. You know, there's what, another 10 seconds.
I don't think the commentators realise that Serrano refueled up to 90. I bet you Lopez just pitted and went straight onto soft because lower fuel. He hasn't refueled up, has he? So he's just doing 2 laps. That's why he's ahead of Josetti.
And from there, right now, the men in the best possible position for that are De Bruyne and me.
Nah, he'll be fine because he's on soft tyres, Lopez, so he'll pull away from Serrano anyway, so Serrano's all right.
Fast in these competitions, and we know he has the ability to win.
So Lopez has got like Serrano's probably 10 seconds further up the field than Lopez because of fuel.
The man in 3rd place, a 6:25.7, only marginally faster than the cars around him, but enough to have the fastest lap for now. But I guarantee you, as the race goes on, that is going to fall dramatically.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Kai de Bruyne just keeping watching brief on proceedings. There is Kilian Drumont. In terms of the fuel, he's exuded another 4 litres compared to the Dutchman at the moment. So just see how tight those margins are there as well as they make their way through these corners. It almost looks like they're flirting with the grass, the curb, every single opportunity going through those fast corners.
Gallo.
What's the magic of the Nordschleife? Is it
Don't know about Gallo. I don't know what he put. We didn't see his pit stop, did we? So we don't know what fuel Gallo put in. I don't know.
Well, look how close his barriers are. You make a mistake, you're on the grass. I mean, you're in the grass, no grip. You're in that barrier almost straight away.
He did 2 laps on the hard tyre. The hard versus the soft. I mean, it depends what fuel he's putting again, though, because
on top of that, we launched these guys into
he's 14 seconds behind Serrano, but he's got soft tyres to use still, which is worth more than 6 seconds a lap. So
that would be class. One day. That's the thing.
Be interesting.
The Nations Cup as well as the variety. You know, we started off in 1,000 horsepower road cars, no downforce. You know,
yeah, Kilian's going to be. Kilian will probably on the fuel, possibly on. I don't know, will he? Or will Kilian go to a different, try and do a different tyre strat when he pits? versus Kaya Mirzano, because at the moment he's dragging them round and giving them a fuel advantage. Maybe he'll try and do something different with the tires to try and break that slip. That's what he needs to do. He's got to try something different with the tires so that he doesn't give them the slip anymore.
To just try and take profit of it. Where's his next gap up the road? 18 seconds. He's again in a nice, comfortable position at the moment. But again, I just wonder what it's going to look like for him in terms of fuel relative to those up the front. I'm just looking at.
Oh, Josetti's catching up a hard tyre on a chat. Look, this isn't good for Josetti now. He's got Robbie Heck in front of him with the hard tyres.
It's working out okay there for.
Oh, that could be a problem.
But let's not forget, he is going to have to owe the medium tyre at the end of this one, whereas others around him may owe the soft. So it might put him out of sequence.
Yeah, it does get a bit complicated now. We've got a lot of different strategies going.
I want to see Josetti to see if he gets held up here. I want to go on board with him.
We'll know exactly who's where and what fights are going to be on for the end of the race. Dumont has fallen back a little bit to kind of Bruin. He did try to, I think, make a little bit of a gap to these guys, but he pushed hard and ended up using a little bit of fuel. And now he's realising that, oh no, maybe actually I just gone a bit hard at this point. But De Bruyne and Mirzano are doing everything they can do right now, just staying in touch, just staying within slipstream range, just outside of that massive dirty.
Yeah, so look, Lopez has got 30 litres of fuel. Tirano's got 71. So that's why the situation looked like it did.
Worst case scenario here for Dumont is if he comes into the pit lane the same time as De Bruyne and Mirzano do, he'll be relinquishing that race lead away, won't he? Because they'll be able to get ahead if they're taking on less fuel, or indeed if they don't take any fuel on board and they decide to do it later on. What are we down to? 24 litres? I'm sure they're going to have to, really. It depends on which way they go in terms of the tyres.
Heck, the people that got ahead with the pit stop didn't refuel, chat. Refueling takes quite a long time, so it's purely just fuel. That'll all be corrected on the next stop. They'll just end up at the back again. But yeah, Serrano's going to get held up here. Look, he's 2 tenths behind. Heck, now he's getting held up. Look at the delta. You can see. Let's see if he can get past him. I'm only bothered about Serrano here because he's going to be losing time behind Heck if he can't get past.
Bit of an exhibition at the sharp end of this race. They have controlled this one very
he can't get past, look.
Indeed so far.
Will Mirzano save more fuel, or will he just get the slingshot, try and get onto the back of Dumont, then take the race lead from there? Who knows? I mean, here we go. Looking back from Kylian Dumont, he's pulled a bit of a gap there. Mirzano, watch that.
Right, he's through, chat, he's through. He lost a little bit there, but I'd say he only lost about half a second to a second, so maybe 1 second loss there for Josetti, but that could be quite important, 1 second though. I think he lost a bit more than that because he was behind him for quite a while, wasn't he? Because watch how quick he'll pull away from Heck now. So, like, he'll instantly just pull away from Robbie Heck. Why is Robbie Heck now 4 seconds behind? Has he binned it? I think Robbie Heck might have binned it.
That's massive. That's over 2 seconds.
It's huge, absolutely huge. As we say, very, very difficult to gain that back when you get onto the circuit, unless, of course, you're following a car quickly on the Dottinger Hurt. So, De Bruyne, Dumont, Mirzano, Inestrosa, and Roach all in the box off of the medium compound of tyres. Sasaki and Karatza have decided to carry on, presumably in their middle stint, unless they've just not come around to the pit lane yet, because of course they were a fair old way back.
Right, now this will be interesting, won't it? They're going on to soft.
Mirzano, the outlier there, he's going onto the hard compound of tyre for.
I think that's a good choice by Mirzano.
Track position, and then keep the rest of the drivers behind him on the Nordschleife circuit, and it's worked out quite nicely for Mirzano because he has now got track position, but
let's see.
A slower compound of tyre.
If Mirzano can keep his car ahead of Kylian before they get to the high-speed section, this could hold them up a little bit.
To get to the end of the race, and now has track position over Mirzano, Dumont, and De Bruyne, but he does have to go onto that hard tyre at the end of the race. Mirzano opting to do that now, so really there's a bit of a gap.
That could be a good tactical play by Mirzano because not fueling up as much, obviously. If he can stay ahead before they get to the 24, the actual Nordschleife, not the GP circuit. But I think Kylian will be on him straight away here. Soft versus hard. It's like, look how quickly they're catching. He's gaining like half a second every corner.
Then he can hopefully keep them at bay for at least the rest of this lap, because
no, he ain't going to keep him at bay for the rest of the lap. No, you're not. No, that's not going to. He might be able to keep him behind for a corner or two, but the soft tyre versus the hard tyre, chat, they won't be able to defend.
for Takuma Miyazono. He's run the mediums, he's now on the hards.
So watch the grip advantage out of these corners now. He's just going to be so much quicker, Killian. But if he can hold him up here by 3 or 4 corners, chap, that's over a second gone because of the soft tire. He's just going to lose time. Like, he's losing now. This is all good for Miyazano. This is why it's a good strategy that he's done. But he'll get him here now on the exit of this corner. Yeah, look.
Around the outside,
Yeah.
I don't think Miyazono
Nothing they can do there.
Indeed, he doesn't. And Drummond accelerates his way through effectively
But
into a net
now Miyazano gets a slipstream off them and gains a little bit through this sector.
So now Drummond and De Bruyne need to really push and get away from Miyazono because he isn't that hard compound of tyre, but while using the draft, he can sort of stay with them, but that will, of course, fall away as they go through the corners.
I think that was smart play by Miyazano, though. I think that was very smart play.
And then back full gas as we go down the hill back towards the compressor and the Foxhole. You can see the difference just there already. One corner and the gap's up to 0.5 of a second.
Look at Serrano though. He's only, what, 5 seconds up the road compared to Drummond. And Drummond on a quicker compound of tyre, taking fuel on board as well.
Oh, I tell you what.
So Serrano here on this middle stint, he's going to be...
Yeah, but wait there. Did he put as much fuel in as Serrano did?
Again, it could be a
I
smart
think...
strategy, but it might not work out for the Spaniard. Let's have a look and see
I
what happened then.
think that Killian still needs to put fuel in. I think that Josetti put all his fuel in nearly. I think that Josetti put all the fuel that he needs to put into the end. I think Killian only put enough fuel in for the softs.
That's huge.
What?
When was that? Was that correct?
Robbie Heck. That was Robbie Heck. It was Robbie Heck. I told you, Robbie Heck didn't look like he had crashed. Josetti must have hit Heck. Watch, Robbie Heck. Told you. Look.
With Robbie Heck, isn't it? It's further back and up the inside, and it was the merest of touches going through there, wasn't it?
It was very tight. I mean, our stewards do have access to different angles than we do, and they will have looked.
It kind of looked like a bit of like latency or something, but they're on a land, so they shouldn't really be getting that.
For Ysetto there, he's really going to have to push to make that time back. A second might not seem like much on a circuit this big, but these guys,
That's a 2 second, 2.5 second loss on that straight. Oh dear.
Do you know who the fastest man on track right now is? Well, not this guy.
Yeah,
but it's Valerio.
I don't know. I'd like to see that again. I'd like to see that from like a chase camera or something.
The soft tyre yet to run, and he is gaining on Miyazono in front.
Well, you've got Italy's fastest man out on track, and you've got Spain's maddest man.
Yeah, you'll lose 2.5 seconds, I would think, at least. Maybe, yeah, I don't know.
Middle stint then here for Jose Serrano. As you say, it was just the lightest.
Yeah, it's good for Gallo, but I'm just not sure about Gallo's strategy yet. I don't know. Like, I think some of them are going to try and do like I still think Serrano was aiming for 4 laps on the medium, but I'm not sure he'll be able to do it. Maybe he'll just do the 3.
Too long. He's not close enough to mount a challenge at the moment. Both of these drivers on the medium compound of tyre.
It didn't look like massive. There was definitely contact there. There was contact because Robbie Heck's car wouldn't have just flung out like that. There obviously was contact.
To their next compound of tyre because they've done a first stint rather on the medium compound of tyre.
The fuel's the same, chat. Killian's got this, I think. I think Miyazano.
To the end of the race.
I think Serrano's not in a good position here because I think Killian now. He's got the same fuel, hasn't he?
Sorry, I was just chuckling to myself watching the.
I think Killian and Kai and Miyazano.
So fast.
I don't know about Gallo. At the moment, we've got no idea about Gallo, but I think Kai and Miyazano and Killian are in a really good position. I think that Serrano's out of it now, you know, with this penalty.
And now Karatsa will have that draft down the straight. Usually it's easy to pass it, but these guys are both on very little fuel indeed. So they're going to have to take fuel here. How much they take, of course, might not agree with each other. We might see Sasaki take a lot. We might see Karatsa take a lot. But we'll see as they come into pit lane underneath the Bilstein Bridge.
Yeah, he's got better fuel, but I just don't know if his pace is as quick as Killian's because At the moment, they're hanging in the slipstream. It's custom slipstream, so they're able to follow quite well. So it's hard to tell. And obviously, when you're following another car, you use less fuel as well. So if they reverse it, Killian should be able to get back past him, possibly.
Sasaki and Karatsa then, as predicted, into the pit lane. They cut that very, very fine. 1 litre of fuel left for Sasaki in his Red Bull X 2019. So Serrano is going to take over at the front, but the deficit between himself and
2 seconds, chat.
2.1 seconds, and Drumont is going to be coming very close to the back of him.
I think Josetti's screwed. I think he's screwed, chap.
Mount a challenge for the race lead. So start of lap 5, we are on. 3 to go here in the grand final.
Come on, Killian, get me 1 million credits.
On the slower compound of medium tyre, but also crucially owes even the slower compound.
The one who I need, I have no idea at the moment, is Gallo, because he's on such a different strategy.
Set by Valerio Gallo, a 6:23
on the mediums.
The Italian on a charge.
On the mediums.
Medium compound tyre.
Gallo's flying, Jack.
Good rhythm around here. Importantly, actually starting to pull up to the back.
Gallo fastest lap on the mediums.
So if the tyre graphic is be believed, Gallo might be able to catch Mears.
Is that real? Quicker than Josetti and Killian on mediums.
At the end of this race, so he'll be quicker
How?
than those around him as well, because every other driver in front of him will not be on the soft tyre at the end of this race. We'll have Serrano on the hard tyre, Drumont will be on the
I don't know how he's done that. Is he definitely on the mediums, or is he on the softs and he's just made a mistake?
He's trying to get onto the back of Miyazono and get past him.
If he's on mediums and doing that, Gallo's involved with this. Oh, Serrano's throwing it, chap.
And Serrano throwing away any advantage he has, just not quite.
Yeah. Killian, oh no, Killian hasn't done one yet, but Serrano started on the softer Atomics. Ah, yeah, no, you're right. No, the problem here, chat, is false, because, so, Serrano came off of the tyres after 2 laps. So no one's done a lap on the softs yet. That's all that is. No one's done a lap on the soft tyres because Serrano pitted at the end of lap 2 and Killian and Kai haven't done their second lap yet, and they probably won't, they'll pit. So, yeah, that's why. No one's actually completed a lap on the softs. Only people who finish the race on the softs will do a soft lap. So yeah, only people who finish the race will actually get a soft lap in, because it's such a long track, you only do 2 then. So yeah, that's all that is.
Miyazono, all relatively close behind as well. Let's have a look at what happened here to Serrano then. So as Jimmy said, coming in towards the chicane,
that got us in the time trial, didn't it?
A bit too much going into the first part of it, and he knew straight away, didn't he? Bit his lip there, shook his head, and that was it, unfortunately.
Oh, he's lost it here, chap. I think that's it now for Silk. I think Josetti's gone. So PO, you've just lost the 1 million.
And De Bruin are very close behind indeed.
Now, interestingly, Kai De Bruin has done an amazing job saving fuel, whereas Killian Drumont has 19 litres left in the tank. Kai De Bruin has 26. That is nearly 3 seconds in the stop, and that's going to be huge for the Dutch driver.
Kai's in a good position, but Kai can't win overall, can he? Kai can't win overall.
This circuit bites, especially when you don't expect it.
You voted for Gallo, did you? Oh, I thought you did Modetti.
So if you're killing Drumont here, do you try and find your way through on Serrano as soon as possible, or do you just play the long game, you know, wait for him to serve that penalty?
Get past him, and then try and hope Kai gets held off.
I'd say this is a good chance. Up the hill towards the carousel here. We're going through Bergwerk, and then we have a nice long section. Drumont should gain a little bit into Bergwerk through the right-hander. He does, and now it's full front. He'll use the draft of the car in front. Maybe not quite close enough though, but he needs to get by. He can't afford to wait, because there are cars who maybe aren't directly behind him right now, but are also threats when it comes to the last round of pit stops.
See, if Killian can get past Serrano before Kai in some corners, he might be able to build a bit of a gap up, mightn't he?
So there is a possibility that the tyres could be coming a little bit more towards the end of their life compared to the medium tyres relative to Jose Serrano in front, of course.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think I just heard Drumont there turn the fuel down as he couldn't get any closer to Serrano. Now right on the back of the Spanish driver. As we go into the carousel for the 5th time, he launched the car to the bottom here and just ride it through. Incredibly bumpy through here. Very easy to spin a tyre if you get on the throttle too early on the exit. And now we go back up again to the highest point of the circuit. But actually Serrano, impressive enough through there, still keeping that gap of 7 tenths.
Certainly is. Oh, threading the eye of a needle through there. That's beautiful from Kylian Drumont. Fantastic piece of driving from the Frenchman, and likewise Serrano and De Bruyne. I have to say, De Bruyne doing such a good job to keep within the wheel tracks consistently. Half a second he sits now behind Drumont.
It's one of Kai's better drives, isn't it?
De Bruyne actually the fastest man over the entire race in the first and second sectors over the course of this one. Up in towards YouTube corner we go. Serrano there, he's going to be a bit of a
let's work this out, right? Miazano's Gallo's got 11. So Gallo's got decent, not the best fuel actually. I mean, he's got alright fuel compared to the others. But I want to see the gaps again. I want to see what the gaps are for 2 laps for softs versus. They're going to be on the hard tyre at the end. All them are on the hard tyre for the last laps. Gallo's going to be on the soft tyre for 2 laps. If the gap is right, so it's 8 seconds there. Oh, I tell you what, Gallo. It could be close. It could be close. It could be quite close here, you know.
Before we get onto the back straight. And then you can just let the engine run free as you come now back towards the DP circuit. There's the penalty line in front, you can see it. Serrano crosses it now, slows down massively.
That's so painful.
Look at that.
Closing speed is incredible, isn't it?
But Serrano, luckily, will have the draft. He should pick the car back up again nicely. He has fallen back a little bit, but that's not going to hurt him as much as we originally thought.
But the problem is he's lost track position.
Kai is playing this so clever, look. He's just saving more and more fuel. But he needs to be careful he doesn't underfuel for the last 2 laps because he needs to give himself full fuel.
Very, very fine margins. Here are the live point standings. Now Drumont has got ahead of Serrano. He now would be crowned as the Nations Cup
Let's see what fuel they put in.
Still 2 laps left and remaining. 1 litre of fuel.
They're all on hard tyres, but Gallo.
Very, very fine.
I don't know if Gallo's close enough. I don't know.
De Bruyne, meanwhile, he will take over in the lead of the race with track position here, presumably as well. The upshot is though that Gallo is going to be the fast charger at the end of this race. He sits in
Miazano is going on to the softs here. I tell you what,
he's got a fair amount of fuel to take.
Miazano could be winning this, you know.
Stroza behind. He's a fair way out of contention compared to Gallo, so no need really to worry about.
So let's see what fuel they're putting in.
And it's Gallo to see what progress he's now going to be able to make in the final stint of this race as he goes on to the soft tyre. Just to remind you, coming
53,
into this one,
54,
still very much
56 for Kylian's put more fuel in. Kylian's going aggressive for the last stint chart.
This final stint is going to define absolutely everything.
Miazano 56 as well.
It comes down to this.
Gallo 56.
3.4 seconds is the gap owing to his fuel.
How close is Miazano to them out of the pit? I need to see the gap. Miazano 9. Ooh, I'm looking at Miazano here, chap. Miazano's going to get it.
Now, and look, on that soft compounder tyre, if there's something you don't want to see in the mirrors, it is Takuma Miazano on the soft tyre.
I think Miazano could be on for this here, chap.
Has the fastest car possible until the end of the race, but as does behind him
and Gallo.
Gallo, incredibly fast Italian driver.
This is going to be one hell of an ending because
touching distance is going to be an absolute dogfight to the end here, and I cannot wait as
it's going to be five car battle for the win here, chap.
Big outlier in this one, of course, is Takuma Sasaki. He is out of sequence compared to everybody else. Although he's in the race lead, it's not the race lead, effectively. It's the net race lead is being decided between De Bruyne and Drumont and Serrano at the moment. But keep an eye out for Miazano and for Gallo as well, because they're both actually now on the soft.
Kai can do some good laps on the hard tyres and save enough fuel, which he should be able to do. It's only 3 litres over 2 laps. He should be able to do that without losing too much time. He could be in a good position, but it just depends what the pace of Kylian is like.
Third in the championship standings as well. So we'll wait and see how this one is going to play out and see what the gap is going to look like between Sasaki and De Bruyne as well. Up to 10.5
Oh my God, look at the gap. Miazano 7.4, right? 2 seconds out of him.
So he's trying to get the overcut.
Miazano's going to be on them before the end of this lap.
Compared to everybody else. In fact, he was a lap longer on his first stint, I beg your pardon, so he was a lap longer on the medium tyre.
Surely Miazano's going to win this.
Out of sequence relative to those around him. So, yeah, be interested to see what happens once this final pit stop has taken place.
Make that 3 seconds now, Mad Max.
Then we will know proper what the order
And they're
is
only a
going to look
third of the
like
way
for
round.
victory.
He should be on the back of them by the end of the lap.
Master at work. This is Takuma Miyazono on the soft compound.
I think he made a really good strategy choice going to the hard when they went on. He held them up a bit. He used the slipstream a bit, and he gained like, he probably made himself 2 seconds over Killian and Kai, and that 2 seconds could be so vital here, I reckon.
It is this man flying down now towards the compression in every corner, every braking zone. He's going to be taking time out of the Spanish driver owing to that soft tyre. But as you said, Tom, the tyre does fall away on the second lap. So do you push hard now?
Oh,
he's
gone a bit deep there.
Maybe conserve a little bit and have a quicker.
Yeah, he made a mistake there. Look, he lost time.
That's up for Miyazono to work out.
Everything that you seem to throw.
He just lost a couple of
Miyazono,
tenths.
He adapts, doesn't he? He's like a chameleon. He just seems to change his colours depending on the.
He overdrove it into the corner.
That are thrown at him, and I saw him earlier in the license test qualifying session that we had, and they were driving.
Right, 5.8, chat.
And then changing over to.
This is where he's going to gain in some of these corners as well, like the braking zone up here, and this corner I think.
Extract the maximum performance, and that is exactly
Yeah, and then through here he'll gain half a second probably just on the brakes and acceleration. Let's see. Oh, look at that. 7 tenths pretty much. 7 tenths gone there alone. Now again, another second to a half a second through here because this is all about traction and front end. Look at that. Yeah, he's 4.5. And then again, he's going to gain more on this right-hander because he'll probably get a better exit as well. So another half second before the end of the straight at least. Let's see. 4.3, 4.2, 4.1. It's gaining.
It's a completely different ball game when you see that car you're chasing. You just something changes in your brain. You turn into the hunter, and you just find that extra bit of speed. And Miyazono is very close to seeing the Spaniard in front now.
So the carrot being dangled then for Takuma Miyazono. Let's not forget he won the Nations Cup Championship.
At the moment, though, Kai is driving really well. He's pulled away from Killian. Kai looks like he's got the pace of Killian here, chat.
Subaru's Manufacturer Cup winning lineup as well.
So Miyazono there looks really damn fast, right? Do you know who was faster behind him? Valerio Gallo.
Yeah.
He's gained.
Gallo,
1.7 seconds. That gap was 2.5 seconds.
Gallo's coming.
Italian driver putting an even better performance right
Come
now.
on, Gallo.
Miyazono, this is going to be a grandstand finish at this race.
If Gallo can get in the slipstream on the straight, what an ending this could come up to here.
And Jose Serrano, if they want a chance at taking this nation's.
It'll all come down to how quickly they can get past Serrano and Killian. If they get held up behind Serrano and Killian, I don't think they'll be able to catch up to Kai at the lead.
That's the problem when you're following cars through these fast sweeping corners. 1.7 seconds between Miyazono and Gallo it stands at the moment, but once he of course gets closer.
What a drive by Kai though here, by the way. What a drive. Pulling away from Killian with less fuel.
I think so.
He's gained 3 tenths on him.
So it's a straight push now. There is Serrano. This will help Serrano. Having a look. There's Miyazono. He's right there.
Oh my God, he's 1.8 behind them, chat. Look at this.
Blood in the water. He can see Serrano
Gallo as well.
Being picked up from the Red Bull X 2019 in front, and he might even get into the point where we'll get a turn.
Slipstream. He needs to get them on this straight. He really needs to get them on this straight up here. Oh God. He's pushing the limits here, chat.
Back up the hill, using that toe. 1.2 seconds now is the gap. He'll have a toe going
flat out through here.
He's huge right now, with just over 1 lap to go. Miyazono and Gallo on a.
He'll get him on the GP section now as well, won't he? I think, will Gallo get held up a little bit on the GP section?
Of course, Sasaki will be coming into the pits in a few moments' time from the race lead. He'll be changing over onto the hard compound of tyre at the end of this one, and that will mean it will be a final lap showdown in the fight for victory here in the Nations Cup. Sasaki in the box then, as he comes in. Where will he emerge? Actually, after the pit stops as well. That's going to be an important point. No, I don't know, but I wonder if he's going to be a bit of an upset for some of the drivers, quite possibly.
He'll be behind.
Gallo.
Yeah, I think he'll be just behind Gallo only, but on hard tyres, which will be irrelevant. Or mediums, whatever he is.
From Killian Drummond, Jose Serrano third, Miyazono fourth, and Gallo up into fifth. It's now a straight fight between these 5 drivers for the win here in the grand final. If the race finishes now, Serrano would win, but I have a feeling he's going to be passed very soon by this man. Takuma Miyazono, extremely close to the back.
Surely he'll get Josetti in one of these corners, like soft versus hard tyre. I don't think Serrano can do anything. He'll get him on the next braking, surely, yeah.
Miyazono's had a particularly good run.
I don't think Serrano will even defend it, will he? No. It's not worth it. There's no point even defending that. Gallo needs to get Serrano before the GP section ends. If Gallo gets held up here, that's going to screw Gallo. If Miyazono can get past Killian before the start of this is, I mean, he's going to get him eventually. I think Miyazono's got this personally. I think Miyazono's surely going to take the win.
This is Kai de Bruin. So will Takuma Miyazono have the pace to catch the Dutch driver? He's there because of his great tool saving. Will Miyazono go for a move here into the chicane? He's looking at it.
Oh my god.
Oh, he does! In the chicane. Does got the inside.
Oh, Josetti, is he going to get past? This is Miyazono's chat. 4 seconds versus hard tyres. He's got this, surely.
As soon as possible. He cannot waste time with Serrano or Drummond if he wants to challenge this win. But look,
oh, Gallo, this is what I said. Gallo's been screwed. This is what I said. If Gallo gets caught up there, that's his race. Gallo's done there now. He's going to get held up all the way through here.
In this grand final race, who will be crowned as the champion.
No, he can't get past.
Up and into second. That's enough currently for him to be crowned as the world champion. But he'll be tied on points with Jose Serrano, so of course he needs to finish ahead of the Spaniard. Serrano currently in 4th place, and now here's Gallo trying to make his attempt at a pass over through flag puts on Serrano, but nothing doing.
He can't get past because Serrano's got the slipstream to Killian.
On the hard common of tyre, but he doesn't have the opportunity to use that extra pace that he's got underneath him. He's going to be forced to the outside line here. Gallo's going to be later on the brakes. Is he going to sweep his way through on the inside, then goes to the outside line? Very close quarters here for
Oh my god! How is Josetti holding on? How is Josetti holding on with a hard tyre?
It's going to be game over for Gallo at this race.
Serrano fighting for his life right now.
Oh my god, that is incredible driving by Josetti there to hold on with a hard tyre.
What's going on? Miyazono is putting away. Kai de Bruin is still 4 seconds to the good of Takuma Miyazono. If he can just keep his pace up, he might be able to beat
that sector there. There's no real corners trap. Wait until we get to the corners. Miyazono's going to fly up on him. Oh my god. He needs to get past.
The Italian driver, and I have the feeling this isn't going to end well. Contact there with Serrano as
I think Gallo's getting frustrated, chat. I think he's getting really frustrated here. I can see a crash coming.
It's illuminated by the headlights of his Red Bull X2019s. Gallo running out of time to make a move.
And this is the problem when you start lower back in the pack. It gives yourself so much more work to do. Gallo has really been compromised by his poor race 2, and now he is paying the price for it here in race 3. He picks up a warning for his troubles.
Yeah, now look at Miyazono, chat. 3 seconds behind, 3.2. He's going to fly up behind Kai. He's going to be on the back of him.
The hopes and dreams of a world title, a second Nations Cup championship, slipping through his fingers at the moment. Meanwhile, Miyazono will be rubbing his fingers with glee in about half a lap's time if it finishes as it is.
I don't know if he can get there. Kai de Bruin's pace in this hard
No,
time
just wait. It's the corners.
He is being caught by Takuma Miyazono.
It's because they've just been through a sector with no corners. Wait until we get to the corners. He's going to be right on him.
Looking for another pace up towards the mud curve. He's side by side with Serrano.
He can't. He's got the slipstream. Killian's giving. Killian's doing really smart because Killian's giving the slipstream to Josetti. Because as long as he keeps Josetti behind him, look.
Now looking into the carousel, into the corner before the carousel. Still can't find a way by. It's a disaster for Valerio Gallo.
Look at Gallo. He's all over him like a cheap suit here, trying to find his way through, going in towards the carousel. But there's just nothing he can do. You can't go 2 by 2 through that corner, not unless you fancy a taste of the barrier. And Drummond, meanwhile, a bit of a cork in the bottle here at the moment as well, just keeping his powder dry up the road in 3rd place. And this is so frustrating for Valerio Gallo. I'm sure it's going to be game over because we've got less than half a lap to go. And Miyazono,
is Miyazono going to catch him here? Miyazono seems to. Is he having to save fuel or something?
To 2.4 seconds. I don't know if the victory in the race overall is going to be in question, but he will finish crucially ahead of Jose Serrano on the road, which will be enough, even though it's a tie, for him to be crowned as the nation Nations Cup World Champion of 2024.
1.9.
Absolutely super.
Is he going to get into the slipstream though? That's the thing. He's going to get the slipstream off Kai now. Look, he's only 1 point. He's in the slip. Miyazano is in the slip now, chap. Oh, look at the fuel. Kill it. Kai's not got the fuel. Kai's only got 3 litres. Kai's going to have to fuel save on the... He's only got 2 litres. He's going to run out of fuel, surely. He's going to run out on the straight. Miyazano's got it. He hasn't got the fuel. Kai's put... It looks like he's used too much fuel up. Yeah, he's having to fuel save. He's got to do massive fuel saving, chap. Miyazano's got it.
This is so important for the championship.
One more straight to go then to define the 2024 title in the Nations Cup.
Don't overtake that early. Don't overtake that early. Wait, why did he not back off and wait?
What about Dumont and Serrano in the
back off, get it on the uphill part.
Very close between them, but
I think he's all right though, because he's having to save fuel, chap. He's nearly out of fuel.
As we come to the checkered flag, if he's able to stay ahead of Kai de Bruyne, the Dutchman would love to take victory though.
I want to see his fuel. I think he's out. I told you he's out of fuel. He's run out.
Serrano close behind. De Bruyne so close to taking victory.
Oh!
He's upset here indeed. He's parking his car. Serrano involved in strife. Dumont as well. Takuma Miyazono is the 2024.
Dumont got him at the end.
Champion of the world.
Killian got P2.
Absolutely superb. Dumont in second. Serrano will come over the line in third. The problems there for De Bruyne cost Serrano really dear in those final couple of corners. It means that Dumont will take second in the standings, and Serrano will finish down in third overall now as well.
Oh my word. Oh my word. Takuma Miyazono, your champion, Nations Cup champion for 2024 with an amazing drive.
Good race
and all
though.
the drama at the end. Kai de Bruyne did a fantastic job putting himself in contention, but just ran out of fuel. I saw it right at the end there. And in all that chaos at the end, we're going to have to wait for our final results, I think, just to make sure we've got the points completely correct. But that was insane at the end there.
Unbelievable job from this man here, Takuma Miyazono. He got the strategy absolutely spot on. He performed when he needed to, and he knew he needed to make those overtakes on that final lap as quickly as possible to not get held behind. That ultimately
good race though, chap. Good race.
Gallo a shot at the championship here tonight.
I mean, also
Kai was running out of fuel. We spotted it. He only had 2 litres left before the straight, chat. He was screwed. He pushed too much. That's why he pushed too much. It looks like he wasn't really saving fuel.
Kind of fair to say he put himself in a bit of a bad position in this race.
Yeah, not ideal at all there for him. Meanwhile, this was Serrano who was leading the race at this particular point.
Imagine Serrano didn't get them penalties as well, chap.
We saw that.
He would have had that
on one occasion, and it cost him.
He must be fuming because without them penalties, he lost about 3 seconds or 4 seconds with penalties or more.
To Dumont and De Bruyne, respectively. Then the pit stops all began to play out in the final stages of this one. We had to wait really until the final lap to figure out exactly what was going on in the point standings because Sasaki went long in his first stint to try and leapfrog his way.
Yeah, he would have won. Josetti would have won without the penalties. He cost that himself, I think. He had the pace for the win, but made too many mistakes.
Then would be Killian Dumont, and then soon Kai de Bruyne. Up the inside through into the chicane. That was an aggressive, audacious move for Miyazono, but he knew that time was absolutely critical here, JB.
And that was the move that won in the race right there. He had to make that move. And here's what didn't happen when Gallo didn't make the move.
Josetti did such a good job to hold on there.
Gallo and Miyazono just proving a masterclass there on strategy and on fuel and on racecraft. And it's a reason why he is the 2024 now Nations Cup champion. We are still waiting for official results, bear in mind. Waiting for that now as Gallo and Serrano, you see here, fighting all the way through on that last lap. Serrano, a masterclass in defensive driving. But here's the pivotal moment. Here is where Miyazono got by Kai de Bruyne, who ran out of...
Killian did a good job. I put Killian as my winner, but yeah, I think...
We're still waiting to see if there's any fallout from that. But insane last corner there. But here's what it meant to Takuma Miyazono, straight up. And there's all his Japanese compatriots. Amazing for there. I think you guys at home enjoyed that. I think our live audience enjoyed that too. And there's a Takuma Miyazono guy in his shirt having a great time. Now he is. Look at him.
Race is under investigation. Confirmation of it from the stewards. So that's for second and third place incident that we saw with Kai de Bruyne and Jose Serrano. at the end of that one. So...
Well, it ain't going to change anything, is it?
But Miyazono is the champion.
Yeah, absolutely. Undisputedly, Miyazono has won the championship. And let's have another look at what happened on that final lap. So, Kaiderbrim runs out of fuel. Drumont and Serrano have a bit of a coming together. Drumont sides his way on the inside. There's a coming together there. Serrano has to back out of it all. Gallo gets caught up in strife. Then Serrano comes back through. Gallo ends up in the wall and nearly in the pit lane there. There was drama that we didn't see that, did we, in the final lap? So it's not over till it's over, and there could be again another twist in the tail in the title battle. Undisputedly, Miyazono's won it, but who finishes second and who finishes third? Is it Serrano or is it Drumont?
It's a tough one though. If you're in a point where you're out of fuel and your car is not in a position where you can actually accelerate properly,
you should move out.
Sit on the racing line. But to be fair to him, he had nowhere really to go.
Yeah, he couldn't really get out of the way, could he?
It's what happens when a car is going slow in such a tight part of the circuit.
Well, absolutely huge drama then. Let's go down to Jules and catch up though with our 2024 Nations Cup champion, Takuma Miyazono.
Okay, Takuma, you've done a few races.
Yeah, Gallo got unlucky in the whole race, to be honest.
That looked particularly intense. Was that really, really intense? Because I certainly, for us guys, that was a lot.
He was only like 1.6, 1.7 behind Miyazono, but then he got stuck behind them. That was the problem. He needed to get past before the GP section ended.
Yeah, I was more tense than when I drove in Sydney 4 years ago. Yeah.
I think it was more tense for all of us, honestly. You performed really, really consistently all the way through that, and that's kind of your how you work. You're very, very consistent. You're very, very powerful. I mean, were you even aware how crazy what was going on behind you at the end of that race?
すごく安定した走りをできた、そういった宮園選手のいつものキャラクターがここでもうまた生きてきたと思うんですけど、もう自分の後ろでどういったことが起きてたとかっていうのは把握してました。
いや最初というか1レース目と2レース目が3位で順調に攻撃で
Good drive by him, there wasn't that really good drive. By the way, chat, don't forget to smash the like if you've enjoyed it. Helps me out as well, so feel free to smash that. I forgot about like reminders.
ちょっとその時他のキリアンとカイが何タイヤ選んでるかは全然分かってなくて、でもソフトを選んだのを見た瞬間にちょっとこれは今日チャンスがあるかなと思って、そこからもう全力でプッシュしました。
Yeah, so, having been in third in the first race and the second race, I knew that the last race, it was one of my favorite cars. I knew I was good on it, so I was pretty confident.
But I'm annoyed I didn't pick. Did I pick Miyazono on my other one, though?
I wasn't really sure what the other guys were doing.
I remember.
But when I saw
can't remember if I picked him on one of my other accounts.
Went to soft, I knew that I had a chance, so yeah.
Well, it paid off. I mean, I think some of it was down to your driving and your strategy, but I think most of it is down to this guy who printed a special T-shirt that says Takuma Miyazono, which was his good luck charm for the weekend. Let's give it up for Takuma Miyazono. Did he do so good? Back to you, Tom and Jimmy.
So Takuma Miyazono is the 2024 Nations Cup champion. The results are in. No change at all.
I saw that
last lap incident between Drumont Serrano et al. As a racing incident, and the upshot is that it's Takuma Miyazono who takes victory from Killian Drumont in second. Kaiderbrim comes across the line
what was the overall
third place, but that doesn't reflect the results for the points rankings. This is what it means. Takuma Miyazono wins his second Nations Cup title. Drumont finishes in second place overall, and then Serrano in third position.
Close.
Well, what a dramatic conclusion.
Better one for Killian.
Oh man, I mean that was crazy. But
P2 overall, I mean, he just doesn't seem to be able to win it at the moment, does he?
Of the day on YouTube. Miyazono, Drumont or Serrano, all three put in amazing performances today. Tough one, if you ask me. But yeah, I'm still sort of decompressing from that time. That was a mad finish.
Yeah, it certainly was. It really did have everything, that race, didn't it? It's always the way with these longer form strategy races. They start off generally a little bit slower, and you have to sort of wait to find out which strategy is going to work effectively, who saved the most fuel, who's going on to what tyre at any given time. Ultimately, Takuma Miyazono was in the right place at the right time, and as you say, he won that race on the final lap.
Yeah, it's kind of ironic, really, that Kai de Bruin, who did such a good job of saving fuel right at the start of the race, ran out of fuel right at the end. I mean, I wondered why he had caught him so quickly, but yeah, it's no choice. Either he can go full gas down the straight and just not make the line, or just really try and bring it home. But that whole situation just caused mayhem at the last corner.
Well, I wonder if he looks at his fuel gauge. You know, like you do in your car, and you see it go into the, into the orange, and you think, oh, don't worry about it. It'll go on for a little bit longer.
I know my car.
Yeah, I know, exactly. I know my car. And then before you know it, you're playing fuel like bingo. Yeah. Unfortunately, it doesn't quite have the same effect in these X2019s, does it?
Brackets, he did not know his car. but still a really good result from Kai de Bruin. I mean, to be at the sharp end in these events, I mean, we say it all the time, these are the best GT drivers in the world, and they're here to put on the display for us. And Kai de Bruin, I think, firmly belongs now in that category.
Yeah, absolutely right. We are ready to get the podium ceremony underway for one final time in 2024. Time for the podium ceremony here for the Gran Turismo World Series World Finals in Amsterdam, the Nations Cup. In third place, please give it your all for Spain's Jose Serrano.
Don't think he'd be too happy if third overall, though, will he? I don't like double points in anything, Stu. I think it shouldn't be a thing. Same with like F1. Like F1 got rid of it, didn't they? Because it's more gimmicky stuff. I've never been a fan of double points. Don't think it should exist. It should just be flat points for every race, same points.
Nations Cup World Champion, it's Takuma Miyazono!
Always go to the
Now, ladies and gentlemen, please be upstanding if you're able for the national anthem of Japan.
Nah, I think double points, I mean, they got rid of it out of F1 for a good reason as well. Shouldn't be a thing, but that's just my opinion. Listen, you Pio, you're wrong, I'm right. Shut up. Or I'll make you grey.
The national anthem of Japan plays out for Takuma Miyazono, the 2024 Nations Cup World Champion here for the GT World Series in Amsterdam. And now it's time for the awards to be presented to our top three finishers. First of all, the third place medal, awarded by Kaushik Subaranian, the senior research scientist for Sony AI. He makes his way on to the stage to a round of applause here in Amsterdam. The third place medal, of course, will be awarded to the young Spaniard, Jose Serrano.
I wonder when that car will be coming, that new 90s F1 car.
Third place for Jose Serrano here at the Gran Turismo World Finals in Amsterdam.
I don't think he's very happy with that. He knows that he lost that himself.
Second place award presented by Jeffrey Marseille, the gaming manager for Michelin, as he makes his way down onto the stage, congratulating the top three competitors. And the medal, of course, being awarded to France's Kylian Drumont. And the first place medal, Belma Nadarevich, the Chief Marketing Officer of Fanatec, making her way on to the stage for the first of two awards to be presented to Jose Serrano. To Takuma Miyazono, I do apologise, I beg your pardon. Takuma Miyazono, the 2024 Nations Cup World Champion, collects his first place medal.
Yeah, it was good, Stu, it was good. I didn't watch Manufacturer.
And now time for the first place trophy awarded by the Gran Turismo series producer Kazunori Yamauchi to a rapturous applause here in Amsterdam. And for one final time in 2024, give it your all for the 2024 Nations Cup World Champion, Takuma Miyazono!
Here. Funny.
The 2024 Nations Cup World Champion, a two-time champion now in the Gran Turismo World Series. He won it back in 2020, and 4 years later, he reclaims his crown. So much excitement that once again, I got the names all muddled up, David.
It's all right, Tom.
It's been a long weekend.
It's been a long weekend, but I mean, Takuma Miyazono, we always say he's always a threat, and when things go his way, he is unstoppable, and I think a deserving winner of our Nations Cup.
Yeah, amazing job from Takuma
Miyazono will get
And you've got to feel
150k
for the likes
in-game
of
credits for the win.
Third and second for those drivers respectively. Valiant for them to stand on the podium. It's got to really, really sting for a little bit, but you know, they did the best they could in the circumstances, the cards they were dealt.
I think Ozetti will be the most annoyed at that.
Serrano usually gives us a bit of a smile when he comes out. That time, no. I think he was pretty frustrated with how that race ended. But Drummond there, incredibly happy with his second place. So
I think he'll be more annoyed at the penalties as well. I think without them, he would have won that.
This grand final. But I think a well-deserving podium. Valerio Gallo narrowly missing out. Yet again, for Valerio.
I know, very unlucky for Valerio Gallo. Anyway, the Gran Turismo
How
World
many have
Series
raced the
may
last
now be
race?
coming to an end in
Don't know,
2024.
not many. I think they'll all be in next. They'll all be trying to qualify next year.
With Gran Turismo, the race of champions is along the way later on this month. Have a look at this to see what it's all about.
Oh, they're doing a champions race. Oh, that'll be a good race.
Don't forget the
Hasn't that already been done?
champions on January the 1st in 2025.
Has that not already been raced, that chap? I thought that had already been raced.
How's it going?
Am I wrong?
Sorry.
Maybe I'm wrong.
By the end of it, we just sort of lose the plot a bit. What an amazing race! A little bit spicy towards the end there. A little bit of subterfuge.
That was brilliant, wasn't it? I mean, that race had it all, didn't it? And Takuma Miyazono, you can't fault the man, can you? He just seems to pull it out of the bag whenever it matters. It was an amazing job.
That was really,
yeah, it was alright. That wasn't it,
I
Bradley?
mean, whenever you see Miyazono like on the soft tyre with just face headed, yeah, you know, that's it. It's done. It's finished. But
That's it.
that end, oh my gosh! I mean, it reminds me of so many Nations Cup finals in the past where it all comes to chaos in the last sector. But I'm glad that it was just as it finished. We getting
I like a bit of chaos at the end. I honestly found it's the most intense race ever. My eyes went a bit funny, so it was great.
Right.
Thank you so much for joining us this weekend. It's been an amazing season for Gran Turismo World Series. We've had a great time. We will see you in 2025.
Yeah, okay. Benito. Yeah, Bradley's on the same as me. I did tell Pio this. Pio didn't believe me, Bradley, that you're on the same as me because I went back to 455. Look, Pio's fuming. Yeah, I did tell you, Pio. He's on the same, but you don't listen to me, do you, mate? You never listen, so you never listen to me. But yeah, I went back to 455 because I didn't like the feel of that force. It felt like when I went on that latest firmware, it felt like spongy and like, I don't know, it just didn't, I wasn't getting any feedback off curbs or anything, so I went back to the old firmware. Didn't stick around on that latest one. Feels much better on the old one as well, so stay with that for now. Hopefully, they can sort it with a in-game. I think it's something to do with the game settings that they've changed or something. Hopefully, PD can sort that out for I mean, they were using that wheel there. And I presume it was updated to the latest firmware. So hopefully PD have worked on the force feedback a little bit for the extreme wheel. And yeah, maybe we can upgrade back to the latest firmware in the future at some point. Yeah, 455 is the it's like the, what do you call it, firmware? It's like the it's not the actual like, there's two different codes you use, but yeah, it's like the software, whatever it is, the can't remember what the exact word is. Yeah, I think that as well, Bradley. I think anything newer than 455 feels like really spongy and like off. It feels really light. Like there's no like feedback coming from the wheel. You got wheel weight, there's weight in it, but there's no. I couldn't feel any curbs or anything. It might actually not be bad for pace, but just it doesn't feel right for like the immersion of it. It just didn't feel correct. So I had to go back in the end because in the wet it was just weird in the wet. I had no feeling when driving it in the wet. But anyway, chat, I hope you enjoyed that. Obviously, we not racing today. We were just going to watch that and chill out today. So, yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed that one. I'm glad I streamed it and watched it with you lot because it was enjoyable. It was definitely quite dramatic again coming to the end there. It always does seem to work like that in the nations, doesn't it? It always comes together at the end because you've got drivers that are so closely matched. It always produces a really good end. So I hope you enjoyed it. Then I really like look at that, Bradley. I'm just praying that it's got force feedback though, you know, because of the Super Formula. The Super Formula's horrible, isn't it? So I'm hoping that car has force feedback because I hope it doesn't release feeling like the Super Formulas because that would ruin it. But yeah, fingers crossed they've got the force feedback right on it because that car obviously looks really, really good, doesn't it? I'm hoping it'll be really, really good. But yeah, I think that'll do us there for that chat. I enjoyed it. So this is the end, SDS. This is the end of the stream. You've missed it, you donkey. SDS coming in at the end there. I think that was because they ran custom slipstream, Bradley. So they remember the slipstream at what was it? Le Mans, when you were just gaining stupid amounts on the straights. I think it was that. I think it was the same as that. So I presume it won't be like that unless they run the custom slipstream. But yeah, it should be enjoyable to drive though. Definitely. I'm looking forward to trying. It looked good as well. I think having a whole grid of them cars with like custom liveries on them, like running all like the F1 liveries from back in the 90s, that'd be really, really good. I'd love to see that in a race. But yeah, I'm going to head off, chat. I will be live tomorrow morning, though, with whatever daily races go live. We don't know 100% what the races will be. It could be the X 2019, what you've just seen racing there. It could be that race. It could also be Group 4. It could be Group 3. We don't know yet. It could be Group 2. Who knows? But we'll find out first thing in the morning and check it out. And we'll be live just after 9 o'clock. So we'll be live at like, I think it'll be like 9:05, chat. We'll be live. And hopefully have some good races on Nordschleife, whatever they will be. I don't know yet. But don't really need to practice or anything because we did the time trial there if it's the X 2019. And if not, we'll just warm up anyway. But let it go. Let it go. But yeah, I'm going to head off, chat. I'm going to go and get some... I haven't had my dessert yet. I've had my dinner, but I didn't eat my dessert. So I'm going to go and get some cake or something for my dessert. But yeah, see you first thing in the morning, chat. Have a great evening. Enjoy the rest of your night. Smash the like on the way out. And yeah, I'll see you just after 9 o'clock, chat. Have a good one, everyone. Take care. Bye.